All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the Culture Shocked live stream.
Oh shit, we're here.
We're here. As you can see, we're down one man. He's getting married or whatever. I guess he was too good for this live stream.
Uh,
Yeah, so like we said, after we did our week one power rankings, we just had a lot of fun doing it. And we figured at least once every couple games, like once every quarter of the season. Quarter.
yeah. Oh.
I did that to myself. Oh my god, it's on loop. I can't take this much criticism. Yeah, so once a quarter of the season, like every 4 games or so, we wanted to try to get on here and update our power rankings, see how wrong
Yeah.
we were based on our initial ranking. So this will be fun to look at.
Yeah, you saved the last ones, right?
I did.
So
Yeah,
we could just move them around.
I did. I took a look at it. I already know a few that stand out. Like, ooh. But hey, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
So similar to last time, we figured we were just gonna go right through game by game, briefly discuss maybe a few teams that we have a bias for, a little more than a brief discussion. But
Well,
we're gonna take you through game by game, just give a couple thoughts. So this is like a reaction slash power rankings. So we can get right into it unless there's anything you wanted to discuss beforehand, Mike.
Well, I just figured since we do run a fantasy football league with the three of us, I just wanted to kind of touch on how do you think your team's doing so far, and do you have hopes that it'll get better, worse, or I mean, obviously, I guess you wouldn't hope that it gets worse, but I
Yeah, see,
mean,
unlike real NFL teams, you can't tank for a better pick.
that's true.
It's random every year, baby.
Uh,
Yeah, so I am currently not feeling great about my team. I was a few weeks ago. I started the season 2-0, just so everybody knows. I went very wide receiver heavy. I think my biggest regret is already round one. Unfortunately, I mean, I am really happy with Tyreek Hill, but McCaffrey was sitting there. And the way that
yeah,
dude has been playing football, that guy's putting up numbers that he could be the first non-quarterback MVP since Adrian Peterson.
yeah, yes, yeah. I mean, I was kind of getting upset when they were playing and they kept fucking running it and throwing it to fucking McCaffrey. It's like, you
Yep.
got Ayuk, he's healthy, get him the ball because he's on my team.
That's the beauty of fantasy football. Your bias has come out like my guy's open.
Yeah. I mean, he did get one touchdown, so I mean, hey.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's still consistently been, I think, like a top 3 or 4 receiver for fantasy purposes.
Yeah.
But there was one game. Well, who was it? The Dolphins were blowing out the Broncos when they put up 70. There was a
Yeah.
game that Tyreek was just going off in the first half, and then they just kind of sat him because they were crushing the Broncos. And those games always suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Hey,
took Christian Watson. Hopefully, the best is yet to come there. Of course, he's just coming off injury. We'll talk about that. Drake London has been a huge disappointment. That Falcons offense is just terrible for pass catchers.
yes.
And
God, Jesus.
it sucks because I feel like Drake London could be like a 1,300 yard receiver with a normal quarterback.
Yeah, who's Atlanta's quarterback?
Desmond Ritter.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Falcons fans don't know who that is.
Oh,
Yes, so
how
the
the
last
mighty
couple,
have fallen.
how the mighty have fallen. So yeah, I lost my last couple weeks. I'm hoping for a rebound here on the guy. I'm gonna be totally shamed if I don't win this one because I'm facing, won't say any names, but I'm facing the only team that is 0-4 right now. So I really, really need this win. Yeah. What about you? What direction is your team going? I'm at 2-2.
Well, I am also at 2-2. I won my first game by a landslide, and I was like, "Yes, this is awesome!" I was super excited because I had Eckler and all these fucking people just blowing points out of the water, and then
Uh-huh.
Eckler got hurt, and I think Eckler could have played this week, but because their bye week is now week 5, they decided to rest him one more week.
Yeah,
Um,
makes sense.
I think that's what I read. So I was pretty sure I was going to be 1-3. But then AJ Brown, a godsend, gave me 40 points, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
AJ Brown
And
came down from the heavens.
in my game against Frank's Tanks, who is the reigning champions, I
Reigning
believe.
champions.
It came down to one player because by Monday night I needed 8 points, I think,
Right.
and I got more than that.
Who'd you have?
I had DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Oh, so I don't think you win this week without that touchdown.
No, without DK Metcalf's touchdown, no, I don't win this week at all.
Fantasy always sweating right till the end.
So, with that being said, I'm now 2-2 because of that, and I'm gonna have Eckler back after week 5. I'm gonna possibly have Jonathan Taylor now because they're talking
Yeah.
practicing.
And Breece Hall just continues to get healthy.
Yeah, I think my team is going to be scary the further along we go.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking to give away one of those running backs, we'll talk. I'll give you anything. Just so people know, my running backs right now are fucking Miles Sanders with a pulled groin. J.K. Dobbins is out for the season, and Brian Robinson, who's been surprisingly good for the Commanders.
Yeah,
but who also fumbled on like the 1-inch line this week.
Christian Watson got you a touchdown.
He did, but somehow Drake London outscored him.
You know what? It's a perfect segue.
Perfect segue. All right, guys. Actually, nicely done. So let me flip over real quick just to give you guys an updated right here. So I have this saved. This was what our post week 1 power rankings. So don't think we're completely stupid. This isn't after last week.
Yeah, no, this is just week 1 where everybody does the whole, oh my God, my team's awesome, or my team fucking sucks.
Yes, this is the classic like overreaction Monday from week 1.
Yeah.
So with that being said, here are the NFL scores to just give you a quick idea. We're going to go from the Thursday game all the way through Monday night. We'll be brief with most of them, just give a few thoughts.
Yeah.
But this first one, we get to start with one of our teams. So if you can't tell by what Mike's wearing, he is obviously a huge Lions fan.
Yes, love the Lions. Go. What are they called? I don't. What is their little thing? I don't even know. Go Motown. Yeah. What do they have a chant, or is it they just sucks for so long that they don't have one? I'm sorry, that's not fair. I'm happy to see them doing well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, their slogan is "Please God." One playoff win.
The Lions. I'm gonna say the Lions are a team we did not overreact with on week 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think they've lost one game, right?
They lost one game to the Seahawks in overtime.
Yeah. So I mean, and that was in Seattle, I believe.
No, that was in Detroit.
That was in Detroit.
That was when the one guy was asking everyone to bring their blue ski masks.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it? Is Detroit that they were blaming their fans for the loss or something, weren't they?
No, that was Minnesota.
There's Minnesota. Oh, one of the fucking stupid NFC North teams. No, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Aaron Rodgers also used to do something like that. He in Green Bay, he would actually ask the fans to be quiet during certain moments, but like he never was like flat out like the fans fucked us.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb to just come out and say that outright.
Yeah, fucking jackasses. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Lions definitely look like a legitimate threat.
They do.
It's kind of two sides of the coin here. If you get that Detroit Lions team from the first half of the Packers game, I think that they will dominate anybody. If you get that team that played in the second half for the Detroit Lions, they're probably going to lose to just about anybody. I don't know what happened to them, and their head coach was Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, he's a beast.
Yeah, he even said, because I watched the whole game as a Packers fan, obviously, and he said coming out of halftime, he was worried his boys were not going to play with the same type of drive that they did in the first half because of how much. I mean, if you looked at the score at halftime, you would think there was no way Green Bay was coming back.
Yeah, well, if you
Like,
actually watch the game, Green Bay looked terrible in the first
yeah,
half.
in the first half, I mean, the offensive line
Like,
couldn't block. They like
yeah,
Jordan Love was getting assaulted,
he was
and
like
you can't.
it wasn't just a matter of like a few bad bounces going their way. It was like they could
Oh,
not move the ball.
Jordan Love was getting assaulted. There was no way in hell. There was just no way in hell. Like, I I can't
Luckily,
stand it
luckily,
that
Matt Canada left your game at halftime so he could make our game plan.
well, it's you know what? Even I hate to say this or give Matt Canada any type of credit. If he had been there, I don't think
Yeah,
whatever his game plan was would have even got off the ground because the offensive line couldn't fucking block.
yeah,
And
right.
that's this is the shit part, all these Packers fans, and this I don't know if it's just the today's world having this access to all the social media and everything, but every fan base is toxic. Like if it was somebody, say Patrick Mahomes had a bad day,
Which he
people would
kind of
be like,
did, but we'll talk
yeah,
about that.
yeah, people would be like, oh, it's okay, it's Patrick Mahomes, or if Josh Allen
Right.
had a bad day, people are like, okay, it's Josh Allen. People have bad days, but if it's a new quarterback that hasn't really proven much, other than the fact that I think in the first 4 games now he has been phenomenal. He's my fantasy quarterback, and quite
Yeah.
honestly, it has he out of as far as quarterbacks go, he hasn't let me down.
Yeah.
Um, I saw all these Packers fans being like, "Oh, Jordan Love's awful. Jordan, we need a new quarterback." Like, dude, it's only 4 games into the season. Like,
Right.
and when your offensive line can't block and your
Yeah.
receivers are dropping balls, because trust me, I saw that happen too. Like, what can he do?
Yeah.
Like, that's
There's
not
no
on him.
there's no quarterback. A prime example of that was the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Mahomes was running for his life that whole game, and he
Yeah,
didn't look that great because there's literally nothing he could do.
yeah. Or
Like,
when the Broncos and Seahawks played each other, and
oh
Peyton
yeah,
Manning,
Jesus.
Peyton Manning looked like he looked awful. He definitely didn't look like Peyton Manning.
Right. He looked like
So
Eli Manning not playing the Patriots.
yeah. So like that's the thing. Like I don't give a shit how good of a quarterback or how bad of a quarterback you are. Like if your offensive line isn't blocking, you ain't gonna be able to do shit. Because very few
No.
quarterbacks can pull that little bit of magic and just kind of squeeze out and run away. Like
Yeah.
and even Aaron Rodgers really can't do that anymore. He used to be able to. Patrick Mahomes is very good at doing it sometimes.
Yep.
Those honestly right now off the top of my head are the only two I could think of. Josh Allen does it occasionally,
Yeah,
but
Josh Allen has been doing it less since he
yeah,
actually has a rushing attack this year.
but that's the other thing with the Green Bay's problem. Aaron Jones just came back, so they were using him seldomly. Like they were kind of slowly putting him back into the fold.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about that in our fantasy group. Like Jordan Love, he's a young kid, he's still learning the ropes, but like man, a couple plays in that first half, he got the new guys killed. Like Watson and
Yeah.
Aaron Jones just came back, and he got both of them smacked pretty
Yep.
hard.
Well, I mean, he was just in a situation where your offensive line is not blocking very well. Dump off passes is your fucking best friend.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
and they
so, I
did that
mean,
little weird option play that got
yeah,
Aaron
I
Jones
don't
like flipped in
know
the air.
what the fuck that was. I think that's when we were talking to the group, and that's when we brought up Matt Canada.
That was about the time Canada's name
And
came up.
I will say, I noticed with Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur has been doing the read option a
Oh, yeah.
lot.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Obligatory every time we say Canada.
Yeah.
Sorry, God.
Oh yeah. No, I noticed that they're doing the read option a lot with Jordan Love, which when you have a running quarterback, that is
Oh,
a
absolutely.
solid move. I mean, it worked so well for Kaepernick until people realize Kaepernick sucks. The only time that guy ever played well is when he had played against Green Bay. Boo.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but yeah, I just don't know. The second half completely was a completely different Packers team, and I thought for sure they were going to pull it
Did
off again.
Yeah, yeah. Did the second half give you a little hope? Like, all right,
Yeah,
like,
I was getting into the game. At first, I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like,
like I could literally be doing anything else right now.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I kept watching because I'm like, it's just
And
the first half.
I totally don't know that feeling. We'll talk about it later.
And I will admit, and I guess I've been told by my brother and some other people, like, you're not a legitimate fan if you do this. Fuck you. I'm not wasting my time watching a game I know is over. Like,
Oh,
I've
oh,
gotten
yeah,
I've gotten in situations where, like, like, Green Bay's been down by like 30 points, and
yeah,
it's like the third quarter or the beginning of the fourth quarter, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
yeah. Some days you can just tell like they just don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I
need the
was
stress. I don't need that stress in my life.
right
Like,
for yeah between like for me between looking at the fantasy app and looking at sports betting and looking at my team suck. I'm like I don't need this right now. Like, I need to walk away for a few minutes.
yeah, like,
Everything's going wrong. But yeah, I mean Detroit, as Dennis Green all those years ago for the Cardinals would say, the Lions, they are who we thought they were.
yeah, they were.
And they
Um,
look legit as hell, and they get Jamison Williams back this week, their other receiver. Which, by the way, I thought he was supposed to be suspended like 6 games, but I think
yeah,
he
what the
didn't.
hell?
I think he did an appeal, but no one ever heard the results. But now it's just like 4 games all of a sudden. They're like, "You're good."
What?
Yeah, so he's back next week.
Well,
But the
that's
Lions get another
interesting.
weapon who's explosive. Uh, yeah, that team just looks really good. It's just a matter of staying consistent, like you said. If the
Yeah.
Lions can do it for 4 quarters, they're going to be tough to beat.
But yeah, because I mean, honestly, that team that showed up in the second half, it's I don't know if it just the Packers came out fired up and were ready to just finally start playing, or
Or if
if
the
or
Lions
if the
took their
Lions
foot off the
team,
gas,
yeah, I don't know what it was, but yeah, I don't. I mean,
I
I'm
think they even
hoping.
comment. I think they even commented during the game. They said like when Green Bay started making a game again, they're like, "This is probably the best thing for Detroit because they're going to be aggressive again."
Yeah, yeah, and quite frankly, I think I also said this in our group. There was a stupid play that happened where there was like a fumble. Oh no, he
Yeah.
did that stupid backward pass,
Yes.
and I think it
That killed
completely
all the momentum.
killed all the momentum and gave it all back to Detroit. If it
It
wouldn't have been
did
for
for
that,
sure.
I think the game would have turned out a lot differently.
Yep. That's an example of how one play can just completely wreck everything.
But I mean, and I'm
And how
gonna
about
say this.
David Montgomery, 32 carries? That's insane.
He looked good. That's the other thing. Green Bay's defense cannot stop the run.
Yeah.
Like if you want to play Green Bay, just run the ball down their throat. Hopefully, you have a good running back.
Yeah, I know that
Um,
feeling.
because there's the things like, and then Green Bay can't run the ball right now. Like AJ Dillon is not an every down back. He's the power guy. He's the guy you give it to when you need like 4 or 5
Yeah.
tough yards to get.
Yeah, he's like a change of pace back.
Yeah, and so I
Because
saw
you
Green Bay was just working out a running back this week.
oh,
So
were they?
clearly they don't think too highly of him either. I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
think
remember who.
this has been Dylan's like chance to have a heavy workload, and it's probably been his worst season like up to this point.
Yeah.
Of course, that's on the line as well, but all right. But real quick, while you
Um,
look into that, let's do this. I mean, we can still talk about him for a few seconds, but let's update what we think. Let's start with the Lions. Now, right after week 1, we had them in playoff team because obviously they beat the Chiefs and Kansas in Arrowhead. So that was a
um,
statement win. Since then, they've won 2 games. They lost once to
yeah.
Seattle in overtime, like we said. You comfortable keeping them in playoff team?
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely good at the playoff team. I would
Let's
put them
move
at
them
the
up to the
front. Yeah.
top. Yes, top of playoff teams because they look legit. And then I'm gonna let you do this one because this is your team. Green Bay, where are you liking them right now at 2-2?
As of right now, seeing the way that they have played, I'm thinking those are two teams so far we've gotten correct. I
Okay,
think that
cool.
they still have a potential wild card
Yes.
spot.
Yep, totally agree. The NFC is gonna have a few other than like your 4 division leaders. I think those 3 wild card spots are gonna be wide open.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as you guys can keep it like above 500, I think you guys have a good shot. All right,
Yeah,
so
no,
well
I would agree with that.
that one was easy for us because we still feel the same about those two. Detroit gets bumped a little bit.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Green Bay Monday gave tryouts to James Robinson.
Oh
old
wow, yeah,
Jets running back. So
yeah, and
he was
Jaguars.
undrafted in 2020. Had a 1,000-yard rushing season in Jacksonville as a rookie. Traded last October to the Jets, not tendered as a restricted free agent. Robinson signed with the Patriots in March, but they released him in June, and he's been playing on the Giants training camp before being released in August. So he's nowhere. I
Wow, so
would not be shocked to see Green Bay pick him up.
okay, and you guys have well, it's a big game next week, Devonte Adams game.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be fun.
Wouldn't that be funny if Devonte Adams just randomly was like, you know what, I'm going over here, guys. Bye.
Halftime just switches jersey. Well, I mean the Raiders
Hey,
are a fucking disaster. I wouldn't blame them.
I'd be okay with it because then this would still mean a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
you
mean, it
would.
does still mean a lot, but
All right, so Lions, Packers both staying where they're at. Packers gave it a hell of an effort in the second half, but they just started too slow. Can't do that
yeah,
2 weeks in a row and expect to come back.
no.
Next was oh god. So this was the London game.
The
This
London
was
game.
the Toy Story game.
Yeah, what the hell was all of that? That was awful.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. A
I
novelty idea, I guess. Like I saw
yeah,
one
like
post on Facebook, which I like. It's like a father, like it's a guy that used to work at the casino, and it got his kid into watching the game with him, and that's really nice because his kid's like really young. So for those
yeah.
people, I get it. He said if they did it like once a month, he would totally be down for it. And I guess I get it, but I don't look at it from that angle. To me, I'm like, this is kind of dumb.
Uh, frankly, I preferred when they did it the Nickelodeon one. I think
Yeah,
that one was a lot better than this Toy Story. Like Disney's just jumping in trying to ruin everything.
of course they're promoting movies. That's what they do.
Yeah,
But yeah, this game ended 23-7. The Falcons, man, I will just continue to be baffled how they waste receivers, how they waste fucking Kyle Pitts, a tight end they drafted 4th overall, the highest
yeah.
drafted tight end in history. Uh, I just, Kyle Pitts and Kyle Pitts and Drake London, man, they've had the misfortune of playing with Marcus Mariota and now Desmond Ritter. Arthur
Like,
Smith just refuses to throw the ball. Jonnu Smith had fucking 6. The backup tight end had 6 catches for 95 yards, but Kyle Pitts
yeah.
had 2 catches for 21. I don't know why they hate Kyle Pitts so much. That dude
Who
needs to
knows?
request a trade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. He's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, and the Falcons have a couple great like pieces in their secondary with like AJ Terrell and stuff. The
Yeah,
Falcons have pieces. They have Bijan Robinson had his first big game.
yeah, he looked good.
He did. Man, the Falcons are there like as a core team. I think they're pretty solid. They just need to get rid of Desmond Ritter.
Yeah. Drake London in London had a touchdown. So
He did. London, London, London.
you see that the NFL
I just booed myself.
the NFL is in fact rigged.
Oh, of course, London gets a touchdown in London.
Yeah,
I'm
come on.
surprised. I'm surprised they gave Ridley the first touchdown in London. You thought that would have gone to Drake.
Well, who
Maybe that would
knows?
have been too obvious.
Well, the problem is that you didn't call me on my cell phone.
Hold on. I think the Jaguars, they have another game against Buffalo this week in London. And man, if they win this one, they might just want to stay there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's their good luck charm. But yeah, as far as that team, man, Calvin Ridley came out on fire week 1. Looked like he was back to old Calvin Ridley. And then, hey, what's up, Tim? I don't think so, Tim. Yeah, but Calvin Ridley came out on fire week 1. I thought he was going to be the same old Calvin Ridley. And then he must have put some sports bets on the under for his receiving yards the next couple weeks because he's kind of underperformed the last few weeks. He got the touchdown in London, but that was kind of on broken coverage. Or like
Yeah.
that you or I could have caught that touchdown because he just ran a straight line and the cornerback fell.
I mean, and maybe that's that field. I was
It could
kind of
be.
wondered because is the field over in London, is that natural grass or what is it? Is
I
it
think it
turf?
is. I think it's grass. I think they play at Wembley Stadium.
And so, I mean, there's a defense to be made between turf and natural grass for like either one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I remember people always saying maybe because it's in London, it's a lot
In
more.
London.
I
Damn
think
it, I wish I had that drop.
I think it's a lot more like mushy over there, I guess, because it's like a lot more rainy and shit.
Yeah.
And so I think they think the fields are a lot harder to play on. I remember that when they first started doing the London games,
Yeah.
that that was something that came up because you would see like the kickers slipping as they were trying to kick the ball into the field goal, and you'd see like all this shit.
Yeah, I think
It,
London tends to have pretty depressing weather, like similar to like Seattle.
Blimey,
Well, that was an impression.
it was something.
It was something. Yeah, but the Jaguars offense just is not taking off the way people expected.
No,
Like ETN had 20 carries for 55 yards.
like the
Trevor Lawrence,
Jaguars are
Trevor
not.
Lawrence, man, is not quite making that jump I thought he was going to make this year.
No, I thought for sure the Jaguars would be the clear. Excuse me. I thought they'd be the clear winners of the AFC South, and
Every team's 2-2.
every single team is 2-2. Like we thought the Texans were going to be garbage, and somehow they've
We'll
won
talk
twice.
about them. Yeah, they have pretty impressive performances back to back.
Yeah,
But but
they must have heard us talk about them finally after week 2, and they're like, "Fuck you guys.
right,
We are what made them decide to be better."
it was us.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, but the Falcons I mean, they continue to be the Falcons, man. If unless they're playing from ahead, it's gonna. If Desmond Ritter has to throw the ball, it's going to be a rough day for Atlanta.
yeah, I would know. I
They
agree
want
with
to
that.
they want to give Bijan 20 carries. They want to give Algier 10 carries. Like they want to be the ground and pound team. And the Jags went up early, and it was over from there.
Yeah. Desmond Ritter is definitely not the answer in Atlanta.
No, as some people have called him, Desmond Mitter.
Maybe he could go to Pittsburgh and help them out.
Oh God, we'll take him. Okay, so we have. Let's start with Atlanta. Where do we have them already? Mediocre
Mediocre
at
at
best.
best.
So far, I think I'm pretty because they have. Do they already have 1 or 2 wins?
They have 2 wins,
Yeah, I
so
don't think they're right now. I don't think they're in number 1 pick contention.
no, I think mediocre at best is still the right move there for
Hey,
them. But
hey, so far,
I would drag
so
them down a little.
yeah, let's do it for now. Hey, so far we're nailing it though. Everyone's in the same tier.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars we have as a playoff team. Now this is tough because like somebody has to win that division, but
Yeah, but at this point I don't know who, and I'm not comfortable putting any of them there.
I'm not. Should we put
Uh
just like a bunch of them in the potential wild card slot?
I would put the Jaguars in a potential wild card spot because we clearly I mean they're 23-7 is a good score for them.
Yeah,
Um, they have the potential to be great. They just aren't. They haven't been living up to it yet.
they have not. Okay, next we had Rams and Colts, and this was the return of Anthony Richardson, man. I think he's kind of been one of the surprise stories of the season.
Yeah. Yep. I kind of eaten my words there on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a dude I didn't have a ton of belief in either. Where he is prospering is his running game.
Yeah.
Like he just runs these quarterback draws that people just can't stop because he's a monster. He's like Cam Newton reincarnated.
Miss Cam Newton.
Hey, we have a new one, hopefully. Cam Newton, I don't want to say 2.0, but yeah, Richardson, man, he's looked real good. Like I know he
Yeah.
only completed 11 passes this week, but that was for 200 yards and 2 passing touchdowns with a rushing touchdown.
Listen, if you can go ahead and complete 11 passes and have 2 touchdowns, and then run for 56 yards. I'm telling you right now. I mean, the dude he accounted for 3 of their touchdowns. That's all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was a game like the Rams started the game running away with it. It looked like it was going to be a blowout, and Colts came all the way back and forced overtime.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah. On the other end of that, the Rams, dude, they're kind of a surprise as well. Their offense is insane. Puka Nakua, dude, he is the truth.
Puka Nacua. Hats off to Tyler for picking him up before he even played it down.
I know. God, and you know what's funny is Puka Nakua and Kyron Williams, their running back, are 2 guys that went undrafted, like in almost every league.
Yeah.
And remember when I jokingly took Allen Robinson with my last pick so I could say I took a Steeler?
Yeah.
I swear to God I was going to take Puka Nakua as like a half joke, but half hoping he did something without Cooper Kupp.
You
and
should
I
have
didn't
taken him.
fucking take him. I would probably be 3-1 right now, at least maybe 4-0 with Puka Nakua
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if,
instead of fucking Drake London's bum ass.
I should have taken him too.
Yeah, right. In hindsight, it's easy to say, "Oh, I should have taken him,"
I totally took him.
but
Tyler
but
stole him from me.
but the Rams, man, I don't see much changing for Puka when Cooper comes back. Like Cooper Cup's gonna be the guy that probably gets right back to 12, 15 targets a game.
Yeah,
But like if Stafford slings the ball 30 times a game, I would say 10 to 12 are going to go to Cooper Cup, 8 to 10 might go to Puka Nakua, and everyone else will split the rest.
I
uh,
yeah. Stafford didn't look great. I mean, he didn't look bad. 27 to 40 is not bad. He had over 300 yards, but to me, it's hard. Like, I don't know. I'm going to say they did not win because of Matthew Stafford.
yeah,
When
yeah,
you have when you throw one touchdown, but you also throw one interception, to me, that's like a wash.
yeah, it is for sure.
It's
Puka,
definitely like you were talking about. Kyron Williams is definitely the reason they won that game.
that kid's a beast.
Yeah, and I
And now
can't believe
that
you're right. 319 yards and 163 of those were Puka Nakua.
yep, with the walk-off touchdown.
Yeah,
Yeah, he found himself his AB or something. But yeah, Stafford, I mean, the dude's slinging. I mean, to his credit, he's fucking he's exploding. Like when Cooper Cup comes back, they should be just explosive. That offense is now they lost a lot of their star power because they really went all in to win that Super Bowl. And
yeah,
since then, a lot of those guys have left. But man, they're surprisingly playing a lot better than people expected. Like people thought these were going to be like a basement dwelling team, and their
yeah.
offense is unstoppable.
They're 2-2.
Yeah, and McVay
And
loves Kyron. Like McVay has always shown in his career when he has that dude at running back that he believes in, it's going to be a
yeah,
workhorse.
yep.
When he doesn't, they're going to split like Cam Akers and Daryl Henderson.
The
But
only
remember back
thing,
when he had Todd Gurley, it was give Gurley
oh
30
yeah,
carries a game.
yeah, and Gurley was a beast.
He was.
Um, the only thing that might be bad for the Rams is the division that they're in. Because they got the 49ers and Seahawks also to contend with.
Yes.
And that is what might keep them out of a wild card race.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams are probably third fiddle in that division. It could be a division that puts 3 teams in. I don't know.
It could be, absolutely. And in that case, then Green Bay clearly isn't going to make the playoffs. And that's the way it is. I honestly didn't have high hopes for this season. So
Wait, why do you say that? Couldn't it be Detroit, Green Bay, 3 teams from that division, and then like the Buccaneers and Philadelphia? I guess there's Dallas.
it's the 4 division teams,
Yep.
and then
And then if
you get 3 wild cards.
oh yeah, so that would be Seahawks, Rams, and then it would have to be either Packers or
Yeah,
Dallas.
yep, yeah, or
Yeah,
Dallas. Oh yeah, Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah, we'll talk about them.
We unfortunately got to talk about them.
Yeah, it's part of the week. I can't wait till they have a bye week.
We did,
So, yeah,
boys.
Rams pulled it off. Damn it! I wish I was over Red by the Boo. Yeah. So the Rams pulled it off in overtime after the Colts come back. So we had both of them outside looking in after week 1. Do we feel a potential wild card here with either of these teams?
I think with the Colts for sure, potential wild card team.
Yeah. Richardson looks good, man.
In that division, they're all 2-2, and the only team so far the only team in that division, I think that might not be able to get in there is
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to put all these guys in the wild card slot in the same division together. We might end up putting 3 up here. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then the Rams, 2-2. I mean, they look good on offense, questionable on defense, where they're getting Cooper Cup back. But when it comes time to play the Niners and the Seahawks, I don't know. I think I'm kind of okay leaving them where they're at.
I was gonna say with the Rams, I mean, there's potential there because of their offense to be a wild card team, but I would kind of put them more towards the front of the outside looking in.
That's what I was thinking too. Let's just put them there for now, and we can rearrange. Okay, so next We had the Ravens and the Browns division game.
Ravens and the Browns.
Tim, not to be that guy, but San Fran looking pretty solid right now. Yes, they are. I doubt that they'll move in our tier, but we'll talk about them.
You doubt they'll move in our tier. Yeah, they're
because I think
actually going to go all the way to the bottom of number one contender for the pick.
Yeah, these guys might as well tank. But yeah, Ravens Browns. This is another example, just like Kenny Pickett, of why people overreact to the preseason. The rookie for the rookie Browns quarterback looked really fucking good in the preseason. And then now I will say in the kids' defense, Deshaun Watson was a very late scratch in this game. So last minute they're like, hey, by the way, go in there and play the Ravens.
Yeah.
And
you imagine
without Nick Chubb.
So
in the kids' defense, I feel bad about that.
Here's the problem. I'm not going to sit here and say we were idiots for where we put the Browns in week 1. They still had Chubb. Watson's playing fine. Playing fine. I think
Watson. I think Watson has played better since week 1.
Yes, I think with Watson and Chubb, that team absolutely is a potential wildcard team.
I agree.
Without Chubb, and I think Watson benefits a lot from Chubb. So just alone without Chubb, I think that they are clearly they drop. And
without Chubb, your team becomes one dimensional.
Yeah, and this game right here against the Ravens proved it. 28-3. The Browns couldn't do shit.
Yeah, they were just like 3 and outing all game.
It looked like the Packers in the first half of their game.
And that's the thing, like people were talking shit after the game, like, oh, I thought that Browns defense was supposed to be something special. And it's like, dude, when you're out there, like every defense, the fucking 2000 Ravens, the 85 Bears, 2008 Steelers, like if you're out there that much, you're going to give up points.
Yeah. Like if you're on the field for 90% of the game, you're going to get tired. You're going to let people get behind you. You're going to let shit happen that you don't want to happen.
Especially when you have to deal with like containing a quarterback like Lamar Jackson.
And that's that they always talk about that, you got to like the offense needs to help the defense out and vice versa. Like
absolutely.
That's weird. Like the offense needs to continue their momentum. Like if they're doing well, the defense needs to hurry up and get them the ball back. And
yeah, exactly.
If the defense is doing really well, the offense needs to help keep them rested and off the field a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah, the Browns defense, another defense, maybe of my team, maybe not. Who asked? Oh, but another defense got exposed this week. But it's another case of like, dude, they're out there the whole game.
Yeah,
they get tired. Yeah. So not really much to talk about. Lamar Jackson had 2 more rushing touchdowns, just like last week.
Yeah.
Which by the way, Lamar Jackson 4 rushing touchdowns these last 2 games is more than his last 2 seasons combined.
Wow.
Yeah,
which is Lamar Jackson with 4 total touchdowns.
Yep.
Oh my God, Melvin Gordon is still in the league.
he is. He had a couple of big plays. He's still there because J.K. Dobbins can't fucking stay healthy.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You were so upset.
Oh my God, I don't know why I continue to draft that guy in drafts. But I think Dobbins'
relationship you keep going back to.
It is. I think Dobbins' best days are behind him, unfortunately, because this was a contract year.
It's very possible he probably won't play ever again. Just on the sheer fact that he can't stay healthy. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Let's go over here. I have got the standings also up, so I've been going back and forth with that.
Okay.
So to me, we kind of talk mostly about this game and the fact that it's not so much we know the Ravens are good. We know Lamar Jackson's fantastic as far as a quarterback goes. Again, something I'm eating my words on because I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
When Lamar Jackson came onto the scene originally, I said that guy, they'll figure him out. And once they figure out how to plan for him, he won't be good.
Yeah,
I was wrong. That does happen. You can have all the football knowledge in the world. You're going to be wrong a time or two.
Oh yeah. Like even the experts are wrong all the time.
Yeah. I said once that Joe Flacco would never win a fucking Super Bowl, and God, did I have to eat my words on that one. And Tim hates that.
And I mean, like, even as a biased Steelers fan, I would not blame you at all for saying Flacco's never going to win a Super Bowl.
Well, no,
And
because he
then
wasn't a great quarterback. He just
and then the dude somehow went on to have the best postseason in history of a quarterback.
yeah.
Tim
Mhm.
says, I still don't like Lamar being in the elite convo. Yeah, I get that. I don't think Lamar's been elite this year. Like,
If
if you
we
look
were
at his,
doing I was just gonna say, if we were doing like a tier list on quarterbacks, which maybe we'll do one of these times,
yeah, maybe close to the end of the season.
I would put him on the outside looking into the elite conversation.
Yeah, like second tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he belongs there. Yeah, Tim, I agree with you. Wait, yes, he does. Fucking Flacco.
They beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Oh, they did.
That's why I said I bet Tim agrees with me. He hates Falco.
Hey, Tim, I'll give you this. The NFL missed a pass interference call at that last drive for the Niners.
Oh, not to mention the Niners were kicking ass, and then suddenly the lights went out.
Oh yeah.
uh, that
Oh yeah. Wait,
uh,
was that the Niners kicking ass, or was it the Ravens?
I
And then
thought.
the lights out got the Niners back in the game.
You know what? Maybe it was the other way around. I don't know.
Yeah, because I
I
remember
can't remember now.
right after halftime with the whole lights incident, Jacoby Jones returned for the Ravens, returned a
Oh
kickoff for a
yeah,
touchdown, but then the Niners started chipping away, I think.
yeah.
But
I think
yeah,
you're right.
that was the famous Harbaugh Bowl,
Yep.
and then Jim went to right here, Michigan,
And he said,
and I'm
"Fuck
went.
it."
That was the first time the Niners lost a Super Bowl. Sketchy shit, man. Just so many sketchy things in that game. Yeah, I remember watching that. Like I said, even as a biased Steelers fan, being like, well, all right, what's going on here? The fix is in.
Yeah, there's so many things that have happened over the years, and of course now the NFL is making fun of people saying it's rigged with all their
Oh yeah,
commercials,
they're
which I
playing
do
into
like.
it.
They're funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the script writers.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, no, I mean this was a blowout. Beginning to end. Not much to talk about. Ravens. Where do we have them? Playoff team. Our division is looking real bad right now. I think I have to keep the Ravens right there.
Yeah, they're definitely a playoff team. I
And I'm
mean,
actually going to move them above the Bengals because we'll talk about the Bengals.
yes. Oh my god. 3-1, obviously solid start for the Ravens, and I think before the season ever started, I think I was actually more on the Ravens side than the Bengals, as them taking that
Yeah, you
division.
were. Yeah, this is
Um,
one that I was wrong. I mean, the season,
it
it could still
happens.
turn around, but I took
Uh,
the Bengals to win that
we
division.
we just talked about it. It doesn't matter how much football knowledge you have. Occasionally, you're going to be wrong. Um,
Browns, man, they have to move down at least a tier without Chubb, and
uh, to me, without Chubb and especially without Watson, they're mediocre at best.
that's what I'm
Um,
thinking. They jump down a few tiers.
yeah, they're definitely not a potential wild card anymore.
So that's been our biggest change so far.
Yep.
Okay, Vikings Panthers.
Vikings,
Now this is a weird
Panthers.
one because this is a weird one because right away, Vikings drive down the field, make it look easy, and then
Yeah.
Cousins proceeds to throw a 99-yard pick six. And man, Kirk Cousins just the dude always finds new ways to lose. Like I don't
Yeah, and this game wasn't even on prime time.
no, it wasn't. I don't really understand Cousins. And
No.
the way the season has gone is Cousins has played three like fantastic games and they lost all three of them. Cousins plays a shitty game and they win it.
Yeah,
Like I I guess that's the formula. Like, would you rather see Cousins go off but you lose, or would you rather see him look terrible and your team wins?
well, I mean, I guess if you have Kirk Cousins as your fantasy quarterback, you don't really give a shit as long as he's doing well.
Yeah, dude, through the
But
first
as
3 weeks, I think Kirk Cousins was QB1. Like he was
um,
unbelievable. That's
yeah,
awesome. Tim says as a Niner and Wolverines fan, I didn't really lose over Harbaugh. That's true. Hey, go blue.
the it's nice for me to see the Vikings at 1-3 since they were the favorites to win the division this year. Uh,
Which I think is stupid.
what is that? With their thing is skull, which I don't.
Goal.
Yeah, which are you guys chewing? What are you doing? I don't know. Anyway, why can't it just be like normal? Like, I don't, Tim, what is the 49ers like little thing? Like when everybody's got like your go pack go, and the Steelers is like here we go.
Oh yeah,
whatever
what
the
is the
hell. Yeah,
Niners thing?
I don't know what the Niners is. Just enlighten us. Uh,
Yeah,
but as far as this game goes, Minnesota got their first victory of the year, even though it was awful.
yeah.
Faithful to the Bay, Tim said.
Oh, faithful to
Okay,
the Bay,
okay.
faithful to the BAE.
um,
Uh,
but you know what my biggest takeaway from this game was? It wasn't even anything with the Vikings. Bryce Young actually looked
ugh,
much like a more composed quarterback, though. He didn't have any touchdowns, he didn't have any interceptions, but 25 or 32 and 204 yards is not bad for a quarterback.
it's not bad,
He didn't have any mistakes really.
right?
Uh, I mean, obviously
My,
he's a rookie. There's flashes of situations where he could have done something differently,
yeah,
but he's not making the mistakes that he was earlier in the season.
yeah, and I mean, I feel for the kid because imagine having Christian McCaffrey back there to help his job be a lot
Yeah,
easier.
that'd be nice. And I thought having Adam Thielen would be helpful, which he did get the most yards for him.
Yeah, Thielen's been
Um,
out there balling.
I love Adam Thielen. When the Vikings got rid of him, I was kind of hoping Green Bay would have picked him up because
Yeah, bring him in.
that seems to be what the NFC North does. They're always like, "Oh, you had him? Well, we'll bring him over here so he's motivated to beat you." The Bears do it all the time. They take Green Bay players all the time.
They do. It's like within your division, you're like the kid who's jealous of like your brother or sister playing with a toy, so you want it,
Yeah.
and then you get it, and you're like, actually, I'm not having much fun with this.
But of course, then we learn that the Bears are just the Bears, which we
Oh
will
God.
also talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about. Yeah, as far as the Panthers, and man, just imagine had Bryce Young come a year earlier, they would have had McCaffrey and DJ Moore to help his life be a lot easier.
Maybe they would have kept McCaffrey. Maybe they would have made sure to bring DJ Moore back. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
like
understand
that's
the
the thing
thought
I'll say.
process there.
That's the thing I'll say in Bryce Young's defense. Like, you feel for the kid because they got rid of his two best options, and they're like, here you go, start week one and
Yeah,
be successful.
he's got Thielen, and then what else does he have?
Yeah, he's got like DJ Chark, who's not the same receiver anymore. He's got a
I,
terrible offensive line.
I like DJ Chark's name.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
me
like
too.
it's kind of like Shark. Never mind. Go ahead, you can boo me. Yeah.
You said you can boo me. That's fine. I want to make a gif of DJ Chark like biting Batman's ankle from the '66 movie.
That'd be pretty
We'll
funny.
call it Chark repellent.
Well, that's what the Panthers keep using on their win column.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, Miles
That was a good
Sanders.
joke.
That was a good joke. I don't have a clap though. Uh, Miles Sanders definitely was out there with a groin injury. I don't know why they gave the dude 16 touches. They should have probably just played Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ Chark. Adam Thielen's balling. Good for him. But
Yeah, I mean, he always does this, so I mean, that's not a shock.
yeah. Yeah, and the Vikings, I mean, just look more like the Justin Jefferson show. That dude is fucking unstoppable.
Could you imagine if the Vikings still had Stephon Diggs?
Oh God. I think them getting rid of Stephon Diggs led to them getting Jefferson.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, imagine having both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the Vikings got rid of Thielen. Honestly, they should have kept him.
Yeah, imagine having. Although Jordan Addison looks good, the rookie. But
yeah, he didn't do shit in this game, but yeah,
not in this one. But imagine having Jefferson, Diggs, and Thielen.
Yes, Jesus. I mean, when they had Diggs and Thielen, they were amazing, and then
At Jefferson.
then they added Jefferson after trading Diggs away, which I thought was dumb.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Josh
the
Allen
Vikings,
isn't bitching.
not at all. The Vikings are definitely getting the reverse karma this year. Last year they won like all those one possession games.
Yeah.
This year they're losing most of those. Obviously they're 0-3 or 1-3 now.
Yeah. I mean,
So yeah, I mean the season's early. There's time for the Vikings, but not looking great so far.
I have to say that 4 games in, I did not expect Green Bay to be in second place in the NFC North.
Yeah, right. And just a disastrous first half away from being first place.
Yeah. Actually, in fact, the 2 games they lost, both of them they could have won.
Okay,
They
so
were so close.
So take off your bias glasses.
Yeah.
Vikings, what do you think? 1-3, are they mediocre? Do you think they're at the bottom of outside looking in? Like, do you think they're gonna start winning a couple games, or do you?
They have Justin Jefferson. They still have Kirk Cousins, who is not an awful quarterback. I mean,
He's
he's
not.
solid.
I mean, he's bipolar. You have to pick which week.
You're right. And if it's prime time, forget about it.
They got TJ Hawkinson, one of the best tight
Yeah,
ends in the league.
I would put them still an outside looking in because there's still potential there for them to,
Yeah.
get better.
Every time we do it, like we talk about a team, I'm going to move them to, because we already talked about the Rams.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move the Vikings here since we haven't talked about any of these other guys.
All right,
And
that's good.
yeah, and then we'll rearrange. So yeah, Vikings, I'm still okay outside looking in. They have a ton of weapons. Madison finally has some help with Cam Akers, and they both look pretty good.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
Madison didn't look good, but I feel like now that he has a spell back, like some pressure's off of him.
Unless we're talking about Russell Wilson, I can be unbiased all day when it comes to doing a power rankings.
Fair enough. And the Panthers, man, they're just continue to be pretty bad. Like, who would have thought Bryce Young has been the worst looking rookie quarterback?
Well, I mean, I did I was worried about Bryce Young starting right away, but
Yeah.
I am in that very small majority, it seems, or small minority now, it seems, of people who think that rookie quarterbacks shouldn't start right away. That used to be the norm, and now everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, they should be starting." And like, okay, I mean,
yeah, but Panthers, man, they just have a ton of issues. I think I'm comfortable keeping them in the number one pick contention. They're 0-4.
yeah, no, at 0-4. I mean, at this point, I think if anybody has no wins, they should be at the bottom.
By default, they're in there.
By default, they should be at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, this was probably the surprise of the weekend. We have Bengals Titans. Oh wait, hold on. What do we have first? Before we move on, Tim says primetime Kirk is less than optimal for sure.
Yeah.
Excellent use of the ... Yeah, so this was the surprise of the weekend. Man, the Cincinnati Bengals are broken.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on there?
I don't know what is happening to this team. Like I
mean,
said, Joe Burrow is the brokest rich man I've ever seen.
he's mediocre at best right now.
At best.
He had no touchdowns. See, this is the difference. I praised Bryce Young for not throwing a touchdown or interception. Joe Burrow, you've been to a Super Bowl, man. This is not okay for you.
The Bengals have 3 offensive touchdowns through 4 weeks.
Joe Burrow's learning curve should be over by now. Like, he should be considered a professional football player by any right. You lead your team to a Super Bowl. I mean, granted, they also had help from McPherson because phenomenal kicker.
He was perfect, yeah.
Dude,
but Burrow was a big reason. It wasn't like in that postseason run, he wasn't like fucking Trent Dilfer or something.
No,
he was a huge reason for their success.
Because of that postseason run is the reason people started taking Joe Burrow seriously.
And last year, they were a questionable Mahomes call away from maybe going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of questionable Mahomes calls. We'll get to that too.
We'll get to that. Yeah, but man, I think there's only so far that you can blame it on injury. Like, I know he's been playing with an injury. And week 1, he puts up 3 points. Look, I get it. He was probably still real hurt week 1.
Yeah.
Week 2, they put up 24. Week 3, they put up 19 points in a win. And then he goes back to 3 points. Like,
and I'm looking at these stats, and Joe Mixon had 67 yards off of 14 carries. Jamar Chase had 73 yards off of 7 receptions. That's a good average. Like, it looks like they're moving the ball. Where the fuck are the points?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
and man, if you can't put up numbers against the Titans secondary, like, who can you put up numbers against?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is just, there's something, dude. The more the season goes on, maybe Burrow should have sat out like the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have gone on the IR.
You know what? Ryan Tannehill looked better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
that says something.
Derrick Henry threw more touchdowns than Joe Burrow.
It's true. Derrick Henry, my God, if he would have played any better, I probably would have lost my fantasy this week.
Well, okay, so not for your fantasy sake, but since you won, we can say it is nice to see Derrick Henry have a big game.
Yes, yeah.
I love Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's a beast, and 122 yards.
Hell yeah.
Fuck, I mean, I can be honest with you. It's hard. You don't see many running backs in general getting over 100 yards anymore because of
on the ground.
Most teams have that the double, like the 2 running back tandem.
Yeah. You see more running backs nowadays get 100 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Unless you're McCaffrey, he does both.
Yeah.
Shut up, Tim.
Shut up, Tim.
Tim, I'll give you what was the thing that Colin Cowherd said? I'll give you TJ Watt and 3 first-round picks for McCaffrey. No, I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, he is amazing.
No, I mean, without TJ Watt, the Steelers defense is pretty much awful.
Yeah. But I can't believe the Bengals Titans, man. And also, all I needed was the Bengals to win like $225 on DraftKings. Fuck.
Glad you didn't pick them for your for your
my eliminator pool.
Your eliminator
challenge.
Pool, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
the
close
Bengals
are we to that game?
The Bengals are just fucking. I don't know what's going on with them, man. I've watched all their games, and they look terrible.
Yeah, and they definitely aren't the Bengals of the last 2 years.
They had like their Super Bowl hangover a year later. McCaffrey's a beast. Definitely not regretting that trade. Yeah, I don't blame you. What did the Panthers get in that trade? Didn't they get like a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round pick for this year, and then like a 5th round pick the following year, or something like
that? That's a question for Tim. I don't remember.
And by the way, we'll talk about it when we talk about the Niners game, but McCaffrey now has 18 touchdowns in 18 games as a Niner. It's fucking unbelievable. Yeah, Bengals are broken. Credit to the Titans. They looked good as hell. The Titans are one of those teams, like, I genuinely don't know if they suck or if they're good. They are like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde every week. One week you're like, that's a good team. Next week you're like, they're awful.
Once again, they're in that division that's 2-2. So who the fuck knows? They could be in the playoffs.
Yeah, 2-2 across the board. All right, so
that division is a clusterfuck.
It is. And for that reason, I don't know what to do with the Titans. So let's start with the Bengals, because I feel like they're going to have the biggest drop.
Yeah, I'm going to put them down a mediocre at best, honestly, dude.
Damn, the Bengals are dropping 3 tiers.
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, this has to be an agreed thing, though.
No, I agree. Okay. Absolutely. Right now, we're basing it on what we've seen.
Yeah, this is crazy. Adrian and I have agreed on everything so far.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you said where I'm like, except maybe Lion put Super Bowl favorites.
Well, that's why I told you to put them at the front, because I think that if they continue to play the way that they are, honestly, if they had played a complete game against Green Bay and didn't let them start making it a closer game, I probably would have said Super Bowl contender.
And to be fair to them, when we get to a few games, I think a few of the teams ahead of them will drop.
Yeah, no. There's definitely
one or two.
There's definitely one I see up there already that I would drop.
Yes, I love it. And then, so what was the other one? Bengals, Titans.
You know what? You talked me into it, because I think we mentioned we weren't really going to move them up to the potential wild card, but I think you talked me into it. I think that that's where they belong.
Just as a joke, maybe we should put everybody in that division as potential wild card.
They're all 2-2. They're all playing kind of
similar,
like up and down. So,
yep. Yeah. So okay, Titans moved up. Bengals dropped 3 tiers, folks.
As they should.
The Bengals are fucking broken. And by the way, T. Higgins is now hurt. So.
Oh my God.
Yep. Okay, so moving on from that fucking blowout. Hey, let's go to another blowout. So we have. How about? Hey, let's give a round of applause to fucking Baker Mayfield, huh?
Yes, another thing that I was surprisingly correct about. So
dude, Baker Mayfield is fucking. So fuck you. Baker Mayfield's crushing it, dude. He woke up feeling dangerous.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm happy for the guy.
I've always been a big Baker fan.
Thank you.
And
Baker reviews.
Wait a minute. I feel like this joke has happened before.
But Baker Mayfield could make a channel called Baker Reviews on YouTube tomorrow, and it would have 20 times my subscribers in one day. More than that, actually.
So the thing about Baker Mayfield is he's fun to watch. Like, he is really enjoyable to watch play the game.
The thing I like about Baker is you can tell he loves football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every first down, he gets so fucking pumped.
He may not always make the smartest decision with that football, but you're never not going to be entertained.
Yeah. And I don't want to say money has anything to do with it, but on the opposite of that, Joe Burrow gets the richest contract in history, and the dude just looks bored out there. Even when he throws a touchdown, he's just pacing over to the sideline. Like it's
And
like the dude made his money and he checked out.
yeah, I know.
Baker Mayfield loves, and don't get me wrong, Burrow, I'm sure he loves football, but Baker Mayfield, man, you have to love playing for a guy like that when you see his emotion.
Yeah, no, I think he would be a fun quarterback to play with. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, at the beginning of the season, before everything even started, and we did our little thing. The Buccaneers were my pick to win that division, and right now they are they are fucking bringing it. Like,
Hell yeah.
I think you and Corey both picked the Saints.
Yeah. And they
Um,
fucking smacked the Saints.
yeah, yep. I'm very interested. I didn't really watch the game, but Mike Evans wasn't even really a factor in this one. That's what I was looking
Well,
for.
he retweaked his hamstring before
Oh, did
halftime.
he? But you know what? Chris Godwin.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, that's the thing. Like, so Tom Brady already had a phenomenal team here when he played for the Buccaneers.
Oh, he did, absolutely.
So Baker Mayfield, it wasn't like Baker Mayfield was being put into a situation where he was going to fail.
Yeah,
Like, if he failed, it was going to be on Baker Mayfield, not because of the team around him.
absolutely.
And that's why I think Baker Mayfield, he's been needing that. He had maybe half of that in Cleveland, and
Right.
he made the best of it. I mean, he broke them out of their longest losing streak in NFL history,
He did.
and everybody in Cleveland got the drink for free or something that one time.
Yeah, Colin Coward, you can suck it. I think he always talks shit on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Colin Coward talks shit on a lot of quarterbacks I don't agree with.
He does. He's a fucking clown. We've talked about it. I used to
Yeah,
like him a lot way back before he became like
well,
shock jock of the NFL. Like I have to say controversial things.
when it became cool to start saying controversial things, yeah, like
Yep. Too many people fell to that. That's
Skip
why I
Bayless.
love like
Skip Bayless.
Skip. Yeah, Skip. To be fair, Skip Bayless was kind of the man who maybe started that trend. He's responsible.
Fucking Skip Bayless. I hope,
Yeah, but
hope you choke on your whatever, anything. Just choke on it.
just choke on something. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, man, I can't be happy enough for the dude. I love him.
Yeah, no.
The Saints, Derek Carr should not have been out there. He hurt his shoulder and he
Is that
looked
what happened?
terrible. Yeah, he looked terrible. But then the most Jameis Winston thing ever, he came out one play and threw an interception.
That's probably why fucking Carr went back out there.
Hey, you got to eat them W's. You got to eat them W's.
Fucking Carr's like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
This was a fun stat. Kamara came back. This was his first week back.
Yeah, I see that.
He
Yeah.
had 13 receptions for 33 yards. That, for PPR purposes, that is great, but that is pitiful.
That's not good.
No, and it's not on Kamara. It's the fucking passes that Carr was throwing him. And dude, Kamara, by the way, the lowest before him with 13 catches was 71 yards for 13 catches.
Wow.
He had 13 for 33 yards.
Wow. And Rashid, is that what you just said? Rashid Shaheed? He had 3 catches for 33 yards. And Alvin Kamara had 13 catches for 33 yards.
Like I said, for fantasy purposes, that's fucking 16.3 points.
Yeah.
That's insane. But
so Alvin Kamara, whoever has him, probably did really well in fantasy with at least with him.
With him. Yeah, Skip Bayless can go away anytime. Cannot stand that dude. I feel you, Tim.
I feel like you and every NFL fan feels that way.
Yeah. Chris Olave had 1 catch for 4 yards. I don't know what the fuck happened there.
I bet Corey Olave that.
Yeah, don't Olave that. Yeah, so pretty much the takeaway from this game is fuck yeah, Baker Mayfield. Buccaneers, good pick by you. I did start to agree with you after week 1. Like I said the Saints, but after week 1, I had a feeling about the Buccaneers. Like, maybe Baker's going to do it. So let's start with them.
I remember you were kind of falling on my side after week 1.
Yeah. You happy with where they're at?
I'm happy with where the Buccaneers are at. Yeah, I'd keep.
Someone has to win the division.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be them.
I think they only lost to the Eagles so far. And let me see. Since we haven't. Oh, we did talk about the Ravens. We'll just keep them right there. Like I said, we'll rearrange at the end.
They lost 25-11 to the Eagles, so I mean that's not even a bad game.
And that was like on a rainy Thursday night game.
Yeah, that was Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. And then the Saints
did not go marching in.
They did not.
It's crazy. They're 2-2.
Yeah,
They didn't look good last night or Sunday. I mean,
they collapsed against you guys.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
um, it's crazy that I'm going to say this, but I would believe they're a potential wild card though. Still, uh,
Um.
it,
Yeah. I. I mean,
that,
their
that that's a
defense is legit. With Kamara coming back, it does give me a little bit of hope for their offense. But
it, that's tough for me. Like I don't know if we put them at the front of outside looking in, or if we put them potential wild card. Because I mean,
so
they're definitely
so
going to be second place in that division.
yeah. So I'll say this is the first time I disagree with you, just slightly. I would say outside looking in.
All right, then I'd put them just right in front of the Rams.
Put them right here.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. Okay. Next game. Where are we? Oh boy, a
the first
statement
loss for
game.
the Dolphins, right?
A
Yep.
statement for the Buffalo Bills. Wait. Tim says, "Shh, don't say I love it. You'll summon him."
Oh, he's probably driving right now.
What if Corey just popped in from his car?
Uh,
Yeah, what a statement game for the Buffalo Bills. This was a game that had that narrative like the Miami Dolphins offense is unstoppable, nobody can beat them, and the
yeah,
Bills made them look silly.
yeah, yeah. Tua finally looked normal.
He did. Yeah, this was like a knock back down to earth for the Dolphins. Josh Allen looked fucking otherworldly.
How do you say this running back's name? Devon.
Oh, yeah, so it just came out. He corrected everybody, and I hate his name. So for 6 months, everybody's been saying Devon A Chain,
Oh, I
and
like that.
I do too. It just rolls off the tongue. But his actual name is Devon Achan,
Achan.
Achan, which I hate saying.
No, I'm still gonna call him Achan.
That's what everybody's been saying.
Hey,
No,
that's
it's
fine
it's
because
Achan.
I mispronounce stuff all the time.
Yeah. No, just
But
Devontae Achan. That just sounds great.
he looked great too. Only 8 carries for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like
Unbelievable.
that's a solid day right there. He barely had to fucking be on the field.
Yeah, and trust me, my fantasy team was pissed. Fucking
But
Cole Kmet with 2 receiving touchdowns. What the fuck?
definitely, I mean, definitely A Chain was the spotlight of the Dolphins
Yeah.
offense.
The
And
Bills shut down Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Josh Allen looked fucking great.
Yeah, Josh Allen. Josh
Well,
Allen looked like the MVP.
did Josh Allen look great or did Stephon Diggs look great? Because let's be real, he had 3 fucking touchdowns.
He did. Yeah, Josh Allen is just. It took him a week or two to find his groove, but he's back full force.
Yeah, because you lose to the Jets
Yeah, what the
without
fuck?
who don't have Aaron Rodgers, mind you.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But we'll get to that because as much as the Jets have not looked the greatest this season, they probably looked the best they did this week.
Yeah,
And still, and I think they actually got fucked. But like I said, we'll get to that.
yeah.
Um,
Josh Allen though, if their offense plays this way, they could go to the Super Bowl.
yeah, no.
Like the
If they played like this every week, they would definitely be Super Bowl contenders to me.
yeah, Buffalo's they've been dying for the Super Bowl appearance since this team like was assembled.
Yeah,
And to be honest, I think it would be out of the AFC. I think it'd be we're used to seeing the Bengals or the Chiefs. I think the Bills would be a pretty fun story to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah, it'd be a nice little change of pace.
They would, and their team is definitely good enough to get there. They showed that they had fucking smacked the Dolphins.
Yeah, which is great because the Dolphins literally a week before that smacked the Broncos. So you would have expected this game to be maybe a shootout.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it knocked the Dolphins off their high horse a little bit.
Yeah, they needed that.
They needed to be humbled, which might benefit the Dolphins going forward.
Yeah,
I think
they might going forward never let off the gas ever again.
exactly. If your team's just like undefeated and crushing everybody, well, you could turn into the '07 Patriots. So yeah, I think the Dolphins needed to be humbled a little bit. So this is going to be hard. Bills potential wild card. I think they at least have to go to playoff team, if not
They're definitely
contender.
playoff team. I'm gonna put them in just under playoff team for now.
Top of
Uh,
playoff teams.
top of playoff teams.
I'm fine with that.
The
Dolphins. What do we
Dolphins,
do with the Dolphins? Because they're still deadly.
they're still
Did
deadly, and
do they
just
go right below the Bills?
to me, just one game doesn't mean that they're gonna be awful. Like
Yeah, right.
anybody can have a bad day any given
They
Sunday.
they did just put up 70.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you agreeing Dolphins go down to playoff team?
Yeah, they should be down at playoff team
I'll
just
let you
because
decide if you want to put them above or below the Bills.
the Bills beat them, so
So
they
yeah,
should
by
be below.
default,
Yeah.
above the Lions or below.
Oh, above the Lions.
Okay, perfect. I'm fine with that.
I'm still
All
not
right,
fully sold on the Lions just yet.
I know, right? They could be like
Like,
8-1, and it's still like, yeah, but
well, no, they play amazingly, and then, like I said, that second half, where did they go?
right.
They should have been able to put that game away, and they didn't. Like that game was interesting all the way up until like the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so we'll move on to oh god, a game
Is
that
it?
actually ended up being exciting, but the
Is this the
Broncos and the
game?
Bears.
Okay, so I want to start this by saying, for Adrian's eliminator, I tried to convince him to pick the Bears to beat the Broncos because I was like, this thing one and only time the Bears are going to get a victory this season,
Yeah, and
and
I
I
mean,
am
hey,
glad. I'm glad you
for
didn't listen to me.
for over 3 quarters, it looked like it.
Yeah, like
So yeah, if you didn't see this game, Justin Fields looked like fucking Patrick Mahomes or something.
he looked
For
good for sure.
He looked really good for about 3 quarters. Justin Fields was proving a lot of people wrong and showing that anybody that plays the Broncos defense can have a great game.
Yes, and
But
then in one
some,
quarter,
yeah, but
in one quarter, Russell Wilson proved me wrong.
yeah, but somehow Justin Fields still found a way to blow this game in the end. Like they were up 28-7.
Yeah,
Like even a field goal could have taken it to overtime. A touchdown would have sealed it beginning of the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, he fumbled and threw an interception.
he Justin Fields did it. That's what he did.
Yeah, he Fields it. See, like Fields, even though he had this great game, and hey, I got to give him credit. He'd never had a 300-yard passing game up until now. He did. He had never had
Yeah,
a 4 touchdown pass game. He did it. But when the team was desperately like in need for a big play, he looked like Justin Fields.
yeah. It's just I don't get it.
I don't either.
How
I don't
can
know
you
how they lost this game.
how can you look that good and then suddenly look like you used to? I don't understand.
Yeah, just Broncos 21-point comeback at Justin Fields looking like the MVP, and then all of a sudden looking like Justin Fields. Russell Wilson, like you said, Russell Wilson. Hey, Broncos country, let's ride, baby, let's ride.
For the first time since he's been a Denver Bronco, Russell Wilson looked like the Russell Wilson of the past.
He did.
Now, don't get me wrong. The first 3 quarters of that game, he looked like the Russell Wilson that I've become to know and love.
You really do love it.
But yeah, I can't. I mean, numbers don't lie. I can't argue or sit here and say Russell Wilson was trash because if it weren't for Russell Wilson and then that fumble recovery,
Yeah.
the Broncos wouldn't have won this game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if this is a case of maybe, Russ hasn't looked amazing through 4 weeks, but he's looked a hell of a lot better than last year's Russ.
Oh, for sure.
Way more
And
efficient.
is it Sean Payton or not? Because for me, I'm loving that Sean Payton is doing so terrible after he trashed
Oh,
Nathaniel Hackett. Because it's like
yes.
you just shit on another head coach, and then you go in there and you did something. Nathaniel Hackett started out better last year than Sean Payton
Yeah.
did, and
Yeah.
2, Nathanial Hackett never allowed 70 points to be scored on his team. So
Only one other coach I think has done that in history. So Sean Payton has that on his record.
yeah, who would have
And
thought that Sean Payton would be one of them?
I know, right? And I used to like Sean Payton, and then Bountygate came out, and
Yeah,
you learned that
which
he was an active participant in that. And
fucking
I mean,
bullshit.
I don't hate Sean Payton as much as I hate who was the defensive coordinator, like Greg Williams or something.
Greg Williams, which is a kind of a
That
kick to the dick too, because I think he was No. Greg Williams didn't play. He wasn't coaching for Green Bay. I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
that
Don
guy.
Capers.
That guy, scumbag. Greg Williams, I mean.
He hasn't been in the league
Not
ever
Don.
since, I don't think, right?
I think he got one job short, like a small stint, and then he hasn't been back since.
No. I gotta look this up just real
Because he
fast.
is a good defensive coach, but
He
he's
is.
he's
Greg
dirty as fuck.
Williams.
And you know what's funny is the two guys that suffered the most from Bountygate were Kurt Warner and Brett Favre in those playoff games.
Yeah.
And they weren't even upset about it. They're like, yeah, that's football.
Yeah.
They're like, I know they're out here trying to hurt me.
Well, actually, the last job that he had was for the New York Jets.
Yeah.
He was hired as a defensive coordinator for the Jets under Adam Gase in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
In December 7th of 2020, he was fired from the Jets following a 31-28 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, yeah. If you lose to the Raiders, you get fired.
So, wait a minute. So why does Canada still have a job?
Wait, we won.
Oh, you guys did beat the Raiders. Damn it.
Somehow.
Somehow.
Okay, yeah. So, which one were we talking about? Yeah, Broncos Bears. Hell of a comeback for the Broncos. I got to give it to them. But I think more than like these offenses showing off, it's just a display of how bad these teams really are.
Yeah, this is like the turd bowl.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams can get a bump.
Well, no, I think with what I said with the 0-4 thing, the Bears definitely need to move down.
Yes, they're 0-4, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you like the Panthers prospects better or the Bears?
I think the Panthers might have a better shot.
I'm fine leaving the Bears right there.
If Bryce Young, because like I said, he made improvements. If he continues to make improvements every week, the Panthers are going to win a game.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to win some games. If Justin Fields plays like he did those first 3 quarters, but plays like the entire game that way, the Bears are going to win a game.
Yeah, Bears have a pretty easy schedule. Like they could win a couple games, but they're so bad they could lose them all too.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
I would move
1-3 now.
Yeah, I would move them down to mediocre at best.
Agreed. Where are you feeling with them in the AFC North?
I'd put them above the Browns.
Like, so you put them at the top right now for mediocre at best?
Yeah. Because like I said, that was a hell of a comeback.
It was. Yeah, you got to give it to them. See, because my heart tells me the Bengals would beat the Broncos, but that's just like based on, you know what I mean? Like past years. This Bengals team, I don't know.
They're broken.
They're broken, man. I'm broken. Yeah, so that's fine. We'll keep it right there. Okay, another surprise of the week that they didn't quite pull off, but we have the Commanders and the Eagles. Commanders gave them a hell of a game.
Yeah, I thought for sure. For a moment, I thought the Commanders were actually going to win.
Yeah, they scored a touchdown with 0 on the clock to force overtime.
That was awesome. Yeah,
it was awesome.
If only they could have made AJ Brown score another touchdown.
You didn't need another touchdown. Shut up.
Well, I didn't know that at the time.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Eagles, man. The Eagles are the strangest case of like a team that's 4-0, but they look beatable. They look much more beatable this year than they have years like last year. Last year the Eagles were dominating people. This year, like you got to, 4-0 is 4-0. You got to give them credit. They're finding ways to win. But there's some games like the Eagles go as their run game goes, and there's some games that they can't run the ball. They have to rely on Hurts. And to Hurts' credit, he's a quarterback. He has become a quarterback. Like he can throw some dimes.
Yeah, at the beginning of last year, I was talking so much shit on Jalen Hurts, and
I think we're seeing a model of quarterback Mike doesn't like. The running quarterback.
There was actually a reason for that. And I remember it because I was watching one of their games, and he overthrew a wide open easy touchdown to a receiver. I can't remember who it was now. And I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you miss that? Because like he didn't have any pressure on him or anything. Like he just overthrew him. And I'm like, again, I think the Eagles were undefeated for a while last year too. But I was on.
Yeah, they were 11-0.
I was one of those people that was like, oh, they're not as good as their record shows. And I mean, they didn't win the Super Bowl. So
yeah. Yeah, and do you know who ended their undefeated streak last year?
was
The
no,
Washington Commanders.
the Washington Commanders. Yeah, see, it could have happened again this year. It
It
still
could
might
have,
happen again. um,
right? Yeah, Commanders gave him a hell of a game. AJ Brown, like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are just so
I
back and
know.
forth. Like when it's their week, and the other guy kind of gets forgotten about.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Like you never really see them both put up like 100 yards and a touchdown.
no.
Like the last 2 weeks has been the AJ Brown show, which I'm sure you love.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
But I think the last 2 weeks, Devontae Smith probably has like 60 or 70 yards combined.
Well, he had 78. He had 78 yards this week.
Oh wow, okay, he had a better week than I remembered.
Yeah, I mean Jalen. I mean, between the two of them, they were the biggest targets, obviously,
Yeah,
as they should be.
yeah.
I definitely this week I would have benefited from putting Dallas Goedert in over Musgrave, but that's only because Musgrave got hurt.
Ooh, I was gonna say, yeah, that's not good
Um,
because
yeah,
Goddard didn't have a good week.
yeah. Musgrave has been a solid starting tight end for me, which
Yeah,
I mean, and I reached for that one because he's unproven. He was a rookie. Nobody really knows what the heck to expect there. But I thought Love's going to need a tight end to throw to,
yeah.
and
Everybody thought it was gonna be Kincaid this year, like the rookie
yeah,
standout tight end. And
and he
well,
did.
yeah. To this point though, it's kind of been Jake Ferguson for Dallas. He's got like 7+ targets the last 3
Oh yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
So
He's
yeah,
looking pretty good.
I don't like to give the Cowboys any credit, but I think Ferguson this week had like 7 catches for 77 or something. So yeah, the Commanders Eagles, man, hell of a game. Just for the upset factor, I would have liked to see the Commanders pull it off, but at the same time, I had the Eagles in a parlay, so no. I like money, okay?
Yeah,
But I think
speaking of that, Tim, for your 49ers comment about them looking pretty solid right now, you owe us another $5.
$5. I think.
That's on top of your Patreon fee.
Oh, and by the way, the Niners, Tim, the Niners beat us 30-7. Texans beat us 30-6. So the Texans are better than the Niners. That's just logic.
What?
Yep. What? But I'm waiting for his comment. Yeah, but I think the Eagles definitely have found their guy in DeAndre Swift. Like
Yeah.
they had the 3-headed monster. He said, "Hit me up
Hit me
tomorrow."
up tomorrow.
Yeah, they had their 3-headed monster with Swift, Gainwell, and I think Boston Scott. And Swift, I mean, to me, it was pretty obvious at the beginning of the season that Swift is like the best pure running back. The other guys are kind of like pass catching receiver running backs. And it helps when you're running behind the best offensive line in football. But Swift looks like their guy that Miles Sanders just never could be.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad that Swift could be a part of this awesome Lions team this year, but
Yeah, I'm think he's happy being with the Eagles.
I think he's happy being the Eagles too. You're right. You're right. I wish Green Bay had Philadelphia's fucking offensive line.
Oh Jesus, yeah, me too.
Like that is one damn good offensive line, and that is the only Kelsey Swift relationship I give a shit about.
That's right. Oh God, did you see those like hoodies that the Chiefs are selling now? It's like
Oh my god.
number one Taylor Swift's boyfriend's football team fan or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even say the Chiefs. That goddamn Chiefs Jets game, they just had to get her in one more time before fourth quarter, zeros on the clock. Instead of showing the players shaking hands at midfield, they had to show fucking Taylor Swift.
There was something I saw as the Kansas City Swifties.
Yeah. Oh, Taylor Swift got Travis Kelce 800,000 followers this week. Like Jesus Christ.
I'm sure she did.
Oh, she did. I'll give it to the Swifties. They're fucking. They're powerful.
Here's what drives me nuts. And I was talking with Amber about this because it was just fucking so stupid. I had a suggested article for me pop up on my newsfeed, and it was Taylor Swift goes out to dinner with Brittany Holmes, Blake Lively, and that's who's that Tarragon chick from Game of Thrones?
Oh, Amelia Clark.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But it said, yeah, she went out to dinner with those three. And I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, why is this news? Like, me going to the bathroom and taking a shit? Do you want to report on that too? Like, that's the equivalent of what that news is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what they ate. I don't give a fuck that they went out together. I guarantee you, Brittany Mahomes fucking hates Taylor Swift being around. So, because the attention is off of her now. But
Absolutely, it is.
I just I don't get it, dude. I get it. Okay, Taylor Swift is like this larger than life fucking personality, which also annoys me. But
Yeah, hey,
Corey,
hey,
if Corey were here right now, he'd be defending Taylor Swift.
hey, what? And hey, nothing against her. Like, hey, go get your
No,
money. Fucking good for
no.
you. Like,
And this is where I do agree with Corey. She's not like anybody that's like, oh, she's just doing this for PR. It's Taylor Swift. What the fuck does she need to do PR for?
yeah, right,
Like
cameras follow her around.
she doesn't need the extra attention. She's not doing this for extra attention. She's just dating a NFL football player.
Yeah, she's
It's
just in
not
the
her
stands.
choice. Yeah, it's not her choice that the studios that are broadcasting these games are like, oh, we can get a lot more viewers if we just show Taylor Swift 1,000 times. Like,
Yep.
that's not her fault. Like,
did you see that meme of like her whispering to Brittany Holmes, like, why is your husband throwing it to the other team and not Travis?
I didn't see that. That cracked me up.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so as far as see what game we're talking about, god damn it, we got hyped. We got swept up in the Swift madness.
We did. It happens.
Commanders, Eagles. So Eagles, we have a Super Bowl contenders. I mean, they're 4-0.
I'm good with keeping them there.
I'm not going to move them up to favorite because, like I said, they haven't been dominating like they did last year.
Right. No, I agree. I think that they are perfect where they're at.
Yep, agreed. And as far as the Commanders, hey, a hell of a spirited game.
Yeah, I would actually move them up to outside looking in.
Oh,
I mean, they're 2-2. They're 2-2, and like you said, they almost beat the Eagles.
Yeah, they almost did beat the Eagles. Out of the 2-2 teams here, then Saints, Rams, Commanders. Where do you put the Commanders?
I think they're better than the Rams right now.
All right, let's put them right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sold on the Rams yet.
Yeah, no, me neither. Oh God. Okay. I don't want to talk about it long. Steelers, Texans. Well, let me see. This game was an embarrassment. I'm wearing my Michigan. I'm wearing my Michigan hat because at least I have one good football team.
Mitch Trubisky went in and played, huh?
Yeah, Pickett got hurt. He sprained his MCL. And by the way, that was on a 4th and 1 where we went shotgun, and Pickett had no pressure in the pocket, and for some reason he ran into a sack and sprained his MCL. Literally, he had a clean pocket to throw the ball, and he ran towards a Texan.
So I was defending Pickett a little bit, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch this. No, I didn't watch this game.
Yeah.
Hearing some of that stuff, I might not defend him as much.
Dude, but Pickett, I'm going to keep saying it. Pickett is not the fucking guy. He is not an NFL quarterback.
I will say that it's really hard, even if you aren't an NFL quarterback, it's really hard to look fucking decent at all in Matt Canada's offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me give you this little fun stat. So since Canada has come to Pittsburgh, we have not had a single 400-yard game as a team offense.
Wow.
The next lowest team has done it 4 times since Canada's got her.
Wow.
Think of the worst offenses in the NFL. They've done it at least 4 times since the last time we've had one.
That's insane.
That's with Ben and with Pickett.
Yeah. Najee Harris looked pretty decent.
Najee Harris, like the thing is this year is like per carry, he's not doing bad. He's getting like 4+ yards per carry. But every game he's only getting like 8 to 10 carries.
He was 5.1 this today.
Yeah.
And he had 14 carries, which was more than normal. And if they could just somehow find a way to game plan, like this is Matt Canada's problem, dude. Like you don't have a quarterback. You really don't.
No, we don't.
You guys fucked his confidence so bad by starting him last year. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Yep. And the proof is in the pudding.
I'm starting to agree with you. Yeah.
I think
maybe they should have gone the Green Bay way and sat him for like 2 to 3 years.
He really should have. You guys should have just struggled with Trubisky last year. Let Trubisky fucking suck really bad, so you guys could have had a decent draft pick. Yeah. And let Kenny Pickett learn the pro system for at least 1 year before starting him. Like I watched it happen. His confidence quickly, like you start throwing interceptions in the pro level, not everybody can bounce back from that. Like not everybody is a Baker Mayfield where they just shrug it off, or Brett Favre where they shrug it off, or
Yeah.
like there's just so many quarterbacks that like fuck Jay Cutler never gave he gave zero fucks about how many
Yeah, and
interceptions that man threw.
yeah, and sometimes that worked in his favor. Is like fuck it.
Yeah, you can't like some of these players, they have that mentality that like that play is the last play. It doesn't matter anymore. The only play that matters is the next one.
Yeah.
And then you got other players, and I will go homer with this as well. You got other players who get frazzled. Mason Crosby, one of the greatest kickers in Green Bay history, when he started missing field goals, dude would start missing them left and right.
Yeah,
Like
literally left and right.
He would go through these funks where he would miss field goals if he started missing a bunch. And that's a confidence thing.
Yep.
Some players can't maintain confidence when they start doing bad. And Kenny Pickett is clearly one of those players.
Yeah. The thing I like about Pickett is he's definitely like, he has a fire in him. Like if he runs for first downs, like if a guy hits him late, he'll get up and like get in their face, even if they're a 300-pound D lineman. Like I like that about Pickett. He fucking, he defends himself. But man, the kid just, accuracy is a huge issue. He misses so many easy passes. He doesn't have like arm strength. He fucking runs into sacks constantly. I've never seen somebody run at the other team so much. Like,
yeah. Hey, you know what? Maybe next year, Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy.
yeah.
Zach Wilson, after last night, if he plays like
Oh,
that every
God.
fucking week, listen to me.
Never. No, I thought you were saying maybe Rodgers will come to the Steelers.
Listen to me. Maybe the Jets are going to be in a conundrum where they're like, "What the fuck do we do?"
I don't want them.
And they get rid of Rodgers because Zach Wilson looks good now, and then Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh.
No, I like that. I thought you were going to say maybe Rodgers will be back and they'll get rid of Zach Wilson. I don't want him. He had a decent game. Yippee.
Well, that's my thought process on that is I don't know what the Jets are going to do if Zach Wilson suddenly starts playing phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like,
but
what do you do in that situation?
Rodgers still has to be your guy.
Yeah, you'd think, but if I was Zach Wilson, I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah. But you actually have to put together a couple good games for that to happen.
Right. That's me jumping the gun, obviously, off of one good game.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, I think the Texans are a decent team. They're better than people gave them credit for, including us.
Yeah, we definitely didn't give them very much credit at all.
Right. And at the beginning of the season, it was easy to do that. The Ravens fucking routed them week 1. But CJ Stroud looks like that guy. He has like the most passing yards ever for a rookie's first 4 games.
Yeah.
Fucking Tank Dell, even though he had a bad game against us, looks great. Who's that other receiver for them that looks really fucking good? Let me click
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, hell yeah. He's looking really good.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Dameon Pierce looked good as running the ball. He only averaged 3.4 yards, but he still ran. I mean, he got 81.
Yeah, he did.
If you can hand the ball off to your running back, I mean, granted, they won 30-6, so they were probably running the ball a lot towards the end to run the clock out. And when you do that, these stats get a little. It's hard to really cipher them, or just it's hard to decipher them because like 24 carries, how many of those were like 1 or 2 yard gains because they were running the ball to run clock out?
Yeah, exactly. But the defense, man, the defensive line, it's painfully obvious without Cam Hayward that we cannot stop the run. We need him back. Our linebackers, aside from the edge, TJ Watt and Highsmith, they're great, but all of our inside linebackers are garbage. Our secondary got picked on a little bit. They got exposed this week, but like I said, when their defense is on the field so much, they get tired. Like it happens.
Yeah, you can't. It's not great to even. How did I put
our
this?
Offense.
It's earlier I said that if you keep the defense on the field for 90% of the game, they're going to start looking bad.
Yeah, our offense is just fucking putrid. It's so hard to be a Steelers fan right now watching that offense.
You guys should go find out what big name free agent quarterbacks out there.
I don't know.
Bring in Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, Tim Tebow and Kaepernick can fight for a job.
You see that letter that Kaepernick, like he actually released a letter he sent to the Jets,
Yeah, I saw it.
and he took the high road and even offered his services on the practice squad. And I'm thinking to myself, honestly, I'm like, that's not a bad offer.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's cool.
I mean, I'm shocked the Jets didn't take it, honestly, because it is the Jets and they love drama.
They do. Okay, yeah. So for this one, man, just hard to watch. We play the Ravens next week. I see things going from bad to worse. Right now, I
Yeah.
mean, they're still 2-2, so I can't put them at number one pick contender
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, no, I would definitely put them at mediocre at best for sure, but at the bottom.
Yeah, at the ball, I agree with you. I'm going to put us. It's hard to watch, man.
Yeah, I'm
And
sorry.
then
That sucks so bad.
the Texans. Hey, Texans 2-2. Do we put them right here with the rest of the
Yep,
division?
absolutely. The whole AFC South, you can hang out together right there, potential wild cards.
Who would have thought the biggest jumpers and fallers are the Bengals down 3 and the Texans up 3?
Yeah, I mean, it comes after looking at this a little bit. I don't think we were really that awful with our rankings the
No.
first time.
Yeah, yeah. So where are we at now? Oh, let me click on the games here. So we just talked about the Steelers. Okay,
Yeah.
Raiders, Chargers. So, this one, Garoppolo wasn't playing for whatever reason. I don't know if he's hurt. I think he's hurt, maybe. Aiden McConnell played. Devontae
Okay.
Adams went down in this game, but he came back and just continued to dominate.
I mean, yeah, he's Devontae Adams.
And through the first 3 weeks, TJ Watt, right, sack leader with 6 sacks. Khalil Mack had 6 sacks in this game.
Oh my god. Khalil Mack is still in the league.
He's still in the league, and he had 6 fucking sacks.
Jesus.
Justin Herbert broke a finger on his non-throwing hand, but he stayed out there because he's a badass.
Yeah, I like Justin Herbert.
I do
He gets
too.
forgotten about a lot, though.
Yeah, he doesn't get talked about, and definitely now he deserves to be talked about more than Joe Burrow. Like, the
Yeah.
thing was Burrow and Jalen Hurts and all that, but right now, I think Justin Herbert might be the fantasy quarterback number 1 right now in 4-point leagues. So,
Oh, maybe. Hey,
yeah, Herbert's a beast.
I'm telling you right now, if the Eckler had been out there, that score would have been way different than 24-17.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, and Aiden McConnell, like the Raiders could have tied it up near the end, but Aiden McConnell threw a terrible interception in the red zone.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to?
And the big balls on Justin Herbert, like to ice the game. It was 3rd down. Instead of running it, he threw a deep pass and completed it. Yeah. Justin Herbert, yeah. The Chargers right now are bailing out Brandon Staley because he's a coach that should be on the chopping block.
Yeah.
But just because the Chargers have so much talent, like they've won these last 2 games.
Okay, so Jimmy Garoppolo apparently suffered a concussion last week.
Oh,
and he was rolled out for the game against the Chargers, and he didn't participate in Wednesday's practice at all. But he had limited sessions on Thursday and Friday. But concussion protocol, they left him out of the game.
wait, a concussion last week, like against us?
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah,
Damn, he played that whole game.
Says Jimmy Garoppolo concussion has been rolled out for a Sunday unless he got a concussion during practice.
Yeah, because like that would mean he played with a concussion at some point during our game.
So, and then the Raiders decided to pick Aiden O'Connell over Brian Hoyer to start the game.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, Hoyer's proven.
Which was shocking because Josh McDaniels, he coached Hoyer before.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, did you see? Who's Mark Davis? He had like a kind of like a booth. He was in a booth thing, but there were fans below it that could see up to him, and they were all yelling like "fucking fire McDaniels." The Raiders, man, just continue. It's like the Raiders feel like one of those teams that are cursed. Like no matter how much talent you put on that team, they're never going to win.
Yeah, I remember way back when Drew Brees was there, and then who was
the Chargers?
After? Yeah, and then it was
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers, they always made it to the AFC Championship game, but yet they can never actually get into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and they had Philip Rivers, Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, like it just drives me nuts.
Chargers still have that reputation. They were up 27-0 on the Jaguars last year at halftime, and the Jags won.
Shocking.
Chargers have that playoff curse, and the Raiders are just cursed in general.
Like, yeah,
You could give the Raiders like Patrick Mahomes, keep Devonta Adams, give them Justin Jefferson and McCaffrey, and they would still lose games. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's fucking poor. The poor Chargers.
It's the curse of Chucky, which means the curse of what the fuck's his name, John Gruden.
Oh yeah.
Everyone said
Oh,
the
yeah.
day they got rid of him and the Buccaneers beat him in the Super Bowl, they've been cursed ever since.
Yeah, because I mean, remember the Raiders had Rich Gannon at one point in time. They should. How did they not win a Super Bowl with Rich Gannon?
And then they brought fucking Chucky back, and he ended up being a racist and a sexist. And
I can't believe that. That stuff is ridiculous.
So this game, real quick, let's start with the Chargers. Where do we have them? Potential wild card. Because you have the Chiefs, I mean, they're not going to be the favorite in the division.
Yeah.
But they've won their last two, so they're starting to build some momentum. And man, when Eckler comes back after this bye, the Chargers are so fucking talented. They should be a 11-win team. There's no excuse for them not to be. So I would put them like playoff team, even though they would be wild card in that division. Do you just want to keep them top of wild card?
I would keep them top of potential wild cards.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
They're still 2-2, so we'll reassess in another 4 weeks.
Yep.
And then the Raiders, I'd say mediocre at best.
Yep, I agree with that too.
We beat them, so I'm putting them at the bottom.
Anything to not be at the very bottom.
Hell yeah, Steelers moving up already.
Oh shit.
The future's looking bright. Cardinals, Niners. Now this game, we're gonna try to be a little quicker because I still have to take a shower and shit. Niners and Cardinals. The Cardinals made it. It looks bad on the box score, but the Cardinals were fucking feisty for a while.
Joshua Dobbs didn't look bad.
Dobbs is looking good, dude.
And honestly, after that beating that they gave to the Cowboys the week prior, the Cardinals are starting to look like a little bit better of a team.
Cardinals are surprising some people.
Yep.
And Josh Dobbs, dude. I heard this. Josh Dobbs over the last weeks 2 through 4.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs is the 5th best quarterback in fantasy scoring right now.
Really?
Under just the big names, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, those guys. The Josh Dobbs is fucking, because he's running too. So he's playing efficient. James Conner just continues to look like 5 yards a carry. He's a beast. James Conner is old school running back.
Right. Yeah.
He's just a fucking bruiser.
He used to be good for Pittsburgh too. Why did Pittsburgh get rid of him?
I don't fucking know. He was injured a lot, and then he went to Arizona, and now he's never injured.
Maybe it's the training facility in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, maybe it is. But Arizona, they actually made it more of a game than it looks like on the box score. Niners kind of ran it up at the end, but McCaffrey 4 fucking touchdowns, unbelievable.
Jesus, yeah, I know. I mean, thank you, Ayuk, for at least getting. Oh, Ayuk didn't even get a touchdown. My apologies. He just got 148 yards receiving.
Yeah, it was the McCaffrey and Ayuk show. Didn't Debo have no catches?
Debo Samuel
for 1 catch.
He had 0 catches, but he did run the ball 3 times.
Yeah. So yeah, man, the Niners just continue to dominate. I am heavily rooting to see a running back as MVP, so I hope McCaffrey keeps it up. Except when I play him.
71 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. 106 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, dude,
Christ.
Can we talk? I have to mention this because this is impressive. Brock Purdy, even if he was just doing dump off passes to McCaffrey or for at least 7 of these 20 completed passes, he was 20 of 21.
Yeah, that's crazy.
20 of 21, 283 yards and 1 touchdown. He was almost perfect.
That's over 95% completion percentage.
In fact, I'm curious what his fucking QBR was for this game. It's not a stat. That's not a stat it's giving me.
It's not showing you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Purdy, dude. I think Purdy is one of 3 quarterbacks this year with over 75 pass attempts with no interceptions.
No. He's phenomenal.
Tim says, I think Debo's still dealing with his ribs and his knee. He didn't have an injury designation, but it's odd that he had no catches. Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah, that's very strange. Yeah, okay, yeah. His QB rating was 134.6 for this game.
Yeah, Purdy's fucking legit.
His rating right now for the season is
115.1. Damn.
The dude, you're right. He has no interceptions this year.
The one thing missing on the Niners is I'm still waiting for that big game for Kittle. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like Kittle always has like 3 to 4 games a season where he explodes, so
He
it puts
doesn't.
his fantasy ranking like really high.
He doesn't need to now because they have McCaffrey.
But can we agree like Kittle's one of the most likable guys in the NFL? Like I think
Yeah.
every player loves playing with that dude.
Yeah, no, Kittle's like a really down to earth dude. I think that's why a
He
lot of people
is.
love playing with him, and he's probably really fun.
Tim, I'll give you 3 first-round picks. But you have to give us Purdy. Hey, we'll give you Pickett. You want Pickett, Tim? No, Tim? Tim, you there? Yes, so as far as this game, I got to give Cardinals credit. They look a little feisty. Do we move them up from number 1 pick contention to mediocre?
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I'm going to move them above us.
yeah, because I think right now, if the Steelers and Cardinals played,
I think the Cardinals would win.
the Cardinals would win.
Yep. And then the
fact,
Niners, man.
I think the Cardinals would beat every team on that list except for maybe the Broncos.
Fuck it. You know what? Just to shake things up, I'm putting Cardinals up at the top of this.
Fuck it. Scrap the whole thing.
Yeah, fuck the whole thing. Niners have to stay where they're at. I think they're still the favorite or one of the favorites.
Yeah, no. 49ers are definitely the favorites in the NFC.
Yeah.
My opinion might have changed a little bit on the Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 games left. Let's get through them real quick. Cowboys, Patriots, don't have a lot to say. You have the Tim said about my trade offer. Yeah, no, that's okay. Cowboys, Patriots, the fucking Cowboys don't. I'm glad to see the biggest loss in Belichick's career. I wish it wasn't the Cowboys, but I still suck at Belichick.
Yeah, fuck you, Belichick.
Ezekiel Elliott did not get his revenge game at all.
No, like he had 16 yards.
Yeah, the Patriots, man, they lack any type of explosion from like receivers. They don't have that guy that can like take the top off a defense, and it shows.
My question is how though? Was this all defensive for the Cowboys?
The Cowboys have a fucking remember when they beat the Giants 40-0? Like I know it's the Giants,
well,
but
no. What I'm asking is because Dak Prescott only had 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
this Hunter Lupke guy scored a rushing touchdown. That's 14 points. Where'd the rest of the fucking points come from? You know?
Yeah,
this had to be. I mean, here you go. Darren Bland had 2 interceptions. So probably. I guess I could just do this overview. There's the passing touchdown, a fumble return. Leighton Vander Esch got a fumble return for a touchdown.
Cowboys defense is nice.
Darren Bland, who I just mentioned, had a 54-yard interception return. And then, yeah, okay. That's where the points came from. The Cowboys are more impressive on defense than they are on offense for sure. I don't think their offense is that great.
No. And the Patriots are awful.
I'm still thinking Dak Prescott is kind of a shit quarterback right now. I don't think he's great.
No, he's definitely not proven any haters wrong with his recent play.
Cooper Rush came in and played 2 downs, he threw the ball twice, completed it twice for 20 yards. I think Cooper Rush is a better quarterback. I don't know why they ever went back to Prescott.
Dakota Rain Prescott. Yeah, Cowboys defense is legit. That's the one thing keeping them as contenders.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, defense they say wins championships, so who knows? Maybe.
So let's start with the Patriots. Where do we have them right now?
Oh, they're up outside looking in.
They're moving to mediocre.
Mediocre at best for sure. And
where do we put them?
I hate to do this to you, but I'd put them over the Steelers.
That's fine.
I think they would beat the Steelers.
And Cowboys. What do we do with the Cowboys? Because that was an impressive win. Week 1 was an impressive win, but they lost to the Cardinals.
They got fucked by the Cardinals, so I would put them down the playoff team. And I would put
they would lose to the Bills. They'd lose to the Dolphins. I'd say they lose to the Lions.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. I would like to watch that game actually.
I would too.
I think they would beat the playoffs. See, I would think they'd beat the Ravens, but I don't know if they'd beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah, let's just put them right there.
That sounds good to me.
Anytime we can move Dallas down a tier, I'm happy. Okay, and then so we just have Sunday night, Monday night. We won't talk too long on the Sunday night game because we got a lot of those grievances out. We talked about Taylor Swift.
Yeah. The only thing I will say about the Sunday night game really is I don't think the Chiefs are the same team that they used to be. They're still obviously good enough.
Tim says Cooper Rush is a better quarterback than Dak. Eat shit, Travis.
It's a buddy of ours, Travis. He's a huge Cowboys fan, and he just swears up and down that Dak Prescott's the fucking thing since sliced bread.
Oh God.
Yeah, the Chiefs, they're what? They're 3-1 right now, right? Yeah. They lost to the Lions in week 1, but we still kept them as a Super Bowl contender because they were the Chiefs. Now, if you look at their other games, though,
they throttled Chicago.
Easy peasy, but they barely beat the Jaguars. And then the Jets, who shouldn't be fucking good either, they barely beat the Jets. And honestly, if it weren't for a questionable call there towards the end, they shouldn't have beat the Jets.
Very questionable on Sauce.
So, yeah, of all people too, Sauce Gardner, like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was a rough call.
You might not agree with this, but I think I would actually move the Chiefs down to a Super Bowl contender, not Super Bowl favorite.
Oh yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I thought you were going to move them way down.
Oh no. They're still 3-1. They're still. I mean, they still have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And the league does this thing. Whether you want to fucking agree with me or not, the league does this thing where when there's a face of the league, they love to cater to him.
Yeah,
we saw it with Tom Brady, and now we're seeing it with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to get that feeling. He's the poster boy. And I wonder how many people lost their fantasy week because Mahomes slid at the 1 yard line instead of running in. I bet you so many people were like, "Fuck!"
Poor bastards.
Poor bastards. Yeah, so we talked about this game. Hey, a spirited performance for Zach Wilson. I have to give him credit.
Yeah,
first decent game he's had all year.
And you know what? He's the first quarterback to ever outplay Patrick Mahomes in college and in the NFL.
Yeah, that's true. And it was cool. It was cool seeing his teammates like giving him encouragement at the end because you could see how like fucking sad and distraught he was.
I hate to say, I think Aaron Rodgers being on the sidelines, because I think this is the first game that he was since his injury. I think Zach Wilson benefits greatly from Aaron Rodgers being on the sidelines.
Yeah, probably helps his confidence.
It helps his confidence. Aaron Rodgers was the one giving him pointers in preseason about like what to do in situations.
Right. Rodgers was just chilling over there with his foot up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that if Rodgers is on the sidelines the entire season, I think the Jets have a potential to be a better team just from him being there. Because if anybody who's watching this or ends up listening to this watch the Hard Knocks, they know that like that whole entire team quickly like came around Aaron Rodgers, and like he was like the odds-on favorite to be like the leader of that team.
Yeah.
And when your leader goes down and he's not there, it's kind of like the situation with like an army. Your general goes down. What do you do?
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah, I say give Rodgers a headset.
Yeah, I mean, he had one in the preseason. I don't know if they're allowed to in real games.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's like a thing that they're not allowed to do. That
might be like a rule. Yeah, but good performance for Zach Wilson. I give him credit.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. So we have. So wait, this was Jets Chiefs. I'm fine moving the Chiefs down. I'd even put them under the Eagles.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of feel like we need another AFC team up here. Should we put Buffalo in Super Bowl contender?
I would put them up above into the Super Bowl contender. Yeah.
Chiefs. Who do you think would win today?
Today, Bills.
Bills, yeah. Bills, Eagles, Super Bowl. Who do you think would win?
Fuck. Oh, geez.
He said, "Fuck."
I don't know. You're gonna think this is crazy, but I think even the Dolphins would beat the Chiefs today.
Do we want to move the Dolphins up?
Well, I think we just moved them down.
Oh, we did. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, so we'll leave them. We'll leave them where they're at.
Let's do this so we always have like 2 AFC and 2 NFC teams in the Super Bowl categories.
Oh, well then I would. Oh yeah, so I would move the Bills up to the Super Bowl favorites at the moment.
All right, fuck it, let's do it.
Fuck it, let's do it.
So we have last year's Super Bowl and Super Bowl contender, and maybe this year's Super Bowl and favorites.
Maybe, yeah.
And then the Jets. I mean, a spirited performance. Still, that division is way too tough. I don't see them as a wild card team. I think they have to move down.
And the next 4 games, maybe that'll change. But I'm agreeing with you. I think they're outside looking in.
Let's put them. The outside looking in isn't great. Maybe put them near the top.
Yeah, because I could see them beating those teams.
And then the recent one was this Monday night game, of course, last night. That won me a nice little parlay, so I was happy about that.
And it helped me win my fantasy game.
Hell yeah! So it was a good night for both of us. Daniel Jones just is fucking terrible. Now in this game, he had 11 sacks. So we defended earlier. When there's that much pressure, there's honestly nothing a quarterback can do. I felt bad for him in that game, but 11 sacks, man, that's pathetic by that offensive line. Like, Seattle is not the elite pass rushing defense. I don't know how they gave up 11 sacks.
Yeah, that's insane to me. Like how, like who got all this too? Like
I watched most of that game, and Daniel Jones had less than 3 seconds every snap. He never had a chance.
Bobby Wagner with 2 sacks, Devin Witherspoon with 2 sacks, Jordan Brooks with 2 sacks, Uchenna Nawad, can't say that fucking name, with 2 sacks. And then you got a couple guys like Mario Edwards Jr., Miles Adams, and
that's a NASCAR racer. Wait, Mario Andretti Jr. That kid Witherspoon looks awesome. He's a rookie. He had two sacks and a pick 6 last night.
Yeah, he fucking defensive player of the week, in my opinion. There.
Yeah. I know one of my buddies lost their week by 2 points because of Seattle. They faced Seattle's defense last night.
Oh, that sucks.
Seattle's defense had like 30 points or something. so dude was up by like 28 comfortably. He's like, I just have to face a defense. And he lost.
That sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, because you get points for sacks too, right?
Oh, yep, that's 11 points. They had a pick 6, which is 2 points for the interception, 6 points for a defensive touchdown. So yeah,
wow,
that sucks for my buddy. That sucks, buddy. But Seahawks, man, quietly at 3-1. Looking like they could fight for that division. They could give. I think maybe San Fran plays them this week. Do you know if they play this week? Let me check. Or no, wait, maybe it's a bye week for the Seahawks. I'm not seeing them.
The 49ers play the Cowboys on Sunday night.
Ooh, okay.
That'll be fun. That should be a good game. Great defense versus great offense.
Oh, great defense versus great defense.
Yeah.
And a great Niners offense. The Seahawks get a bye, and then they come back and play the Bengals, which if they keep looking like that, and then they play the Cardinals.
When do we see Seahawks and 49ers?
And then they play the Browns.
Oh my God.
Damn, next time we talk about the power ranking, Seahawks could be way up.
Yep.
I think the Seahawks look good again, man. The DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett combo, Kenneth Walker, that kid looks like the real deal at running back.
Yes.
Geno Smith continues to prove doubters wrong. I'm happy for Geno.
He's falling into that same role that I used to always accuse Russell Wilson of being. Geno's
like a
Smith
game manager.
He will have really good games, and then there will be games where he is a really good game manager. And that's fine. Honestly, if you have a good defense, you have a good running game, that's all you need from your quarterback. That's all you don't need an elite quarterback to win a game. As long as you have a good defense and a good running game, you need a game manager.
Yeah, to me, Seahawks are just a very well-rounded team.
Yeah. I definitely think that they will cause some issues for San Francisco. I don't necessarily know if they'll beat them.
Right.
But
they could take one game this year from them this year.
Even the Cardinals kind of gave San Francisco a little bit of a trouble. See, right. Tim, I hate your team so much I can't say their names right.
So I think the Seahawks are a well-rounded team. The Giants were just clearly outclassed here. As bad as the offensive line is, still, fault has to go to Daniel Jones. Like, he's just... Why did the Giants give him that contract? I will never understand. I just don't get it.
I'm going to tell you right now, the Giants are the only 1-3 team that I would still leave at the bottom.
Yeah, which, by the way, I watched the Manning cast for most of the game, and the whole game was just Peyton Manning with like his hands on his head, like... It's so funny.
Well, that's what he was doing the same shit when he was watching Zach Wilson play.
Yeah,
with
play Buffalo.
Play Buffalo. He was like, he just was super unhappy to watch Zach Wilson.
By the way, I love the Manning cast. Thank God there's an alternate to like the normal.
Yeah.
Although does Al Michaels do Sunday night or Monday night? Because Al Michaels might be the GOAT of broadcasting.
I think he does Sunday night. Isn't it Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth usually?
Yeah. I love Al Michaels.
Yeah, it's crazy because that's the only reason that Sunday Night Football is still bearable to watch because you got Chris Collinsworth, who annoys the fuck out of you, and
Yeah.
then you got Al Michaels, who's fine. So it's like they balance each other out.
Al Michaels just has, and I don't mean this as an insult because normally when you say it's an insult, but Al Michaels just has like a voice for radio. Like
Yeah,
most
no,
people say, oh, he
yeah.
has a face for radio, like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like I feel about Chris Collinsworth the same way, and this being an NFC fan, the
Yeah.
same way I feel about fucking Joe Buck. Joe
Oh,
Buck
God.
annoys the fuck out of me.
Hey, Tim, before we leave, give us on a tier list, like just say A through F. Tell us where you would put Collinsworth and where you would put Al Michaels. Because we all know Tim loves Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, Tim loves Chris Collinsworth.
And unless he comments, that's true.
See,
And even if he comments, I might not show it. Okay, so last two teams here. Seattle moved 3-1. They're looking good.
yeah, I would put them potential wild
I'm
card because to me, I would love to put
between
them as a
potential wild
playoff
card and
team.
playoff team.
Yeah, put them at the end of playoff team.
I'm fine with that.
Because with San Francisco in that division, like
They would have to be a wild card.
they would have to be a wild card, but at the same
I
time,
get that, but we did that with the
yeah.
Dolphins, though.
Yep. So
Okay.
yeah,
And
I'm
then
good with playoff team.
last, the Giants. I agree with you. They're bottom.
They have to stay there.
dwellers.
They have to stay there.
Wow, I'll tell you what. I feel even better about this power ranking than I do our first. This
Adrian, I
looks
gotta be
pretty
honest
good.
with you. I just now noticed this.
Yeah.
Our faces are covering up the bottom.
Oh, we're at the bottom one?
Yeah, we're on the bottom, so we've been covering up the weakest. There you go. That's how we normally do it, I think.
Ew.
We did that the whole stream. Well, hey, there you guys go. You can see it now.
we wanted to do a reveal at the end.
Yeah, there's our number one pick contention, guys.
Totally meant to do that. Nailed it.
Oh, Tim said Collinsworth is Z.
Wait, let me pull it up. Collinsworth is Z. Like Dragon Ball
best,
Z, he's
right?
so cool. And then yeah, Giants. I mean, so out of the number one pick contenders, would the Giants beat the Bears?
God, fuck, I don't know. If the Bears play like they did against the Broncos, no.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's keep the Giants at the bottom, even though they have a win.
I would even put the Bears over the Panthers right now.
Yeah, I don't care. Let's do it. Mediocre. What are we thinking here?
I'm okay with how that looks.
Yeah,
I know you're not, because look at where the Steelers are. But
no, the only thing I think they should probably be lower, but we did beat the Raiders, I guess.
Yeah.
And we beat the Browns, so it's like, no, we're not that good. Outside looking in, maybe the Jets. I don't know if they should be that high, but there's nobody in this tier that I really love.
No. Honestly, out of everybody in that tier, I think Washington might have the best chance. So I'd maybe put them at the front.
I don't care. I'll do it.
He's like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Potential wild cards. I do think the Chargers are the most talented out of this tier, so I'm happy with that.
Yep.
Texans look good. I think the Texans are better than the Titans.
Yes, I would agree with that as well.
Titans are probably the worst out of this.
I think the Colts are the best. I think they're better than the Jaguars with Richardson coming on strong.
Fine, we'll break up the joke and not have the whole division.
I know. Well, yeah, because I think honestly, Green Bay would probably lose to the Colts. As of right now, you want to
move the Colts up over Green Bay?
I would move the Colts up over Green Bay.
Let's do it. And I think the Chargers would beat the Colts.
Yeah, so I'm good with that now.
Playoff teams, I think the Seahawks are better probably than the Buccaneers, but with the division thing, I don't know, because the Buccaneers are like division leaders.
Yeah.
Ravens are division leaders. I'm fine keeping the Seahawks there.
Yeah, I think that list, I think our playoff teams is pretty much where it needs to be.
I think the Eagles would beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think the Niners would probably beat the Bills. The Bills, so Bills over Eagles and Chiefs right now. Yeah, I'm actually perfectly okay with this. And I know Eagles fans are going to be like, what the fuck? We're 4-0.
Yeah, well, so are the 49ers.
Yeah, and I know the Bills lost to the fucking Zach Wilson Jets. I get it. But this is 3 weeks later.
Yeah. As far as a tier list goes, like, I'm sorry, you have to have only 2 teams in the Super Bowl favorites, and they both can't be from the NFC. So,
right. And I did just take a screenshot of this, so we're good for next time we do this.
I was wondering why I did that weird little thing.
Oh, did you see the light on, light off?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Tim says less than F minus. Oh, here's a guy who.
Oh my god, I was about to do it. But here's a guy that knows a thing or two about
I'm sorry, Tim.
announcers for football.
I'm sorry, Tim. Did you play 8 years in the NFL?
Yeah. Did you play wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Cincinnati Bungles, as they were known then. All right, guys. So let's give everybody one more final look here. So this is going to be our post week 4, post Q1 NFL season right here. I'm actually really happy with this list. I think it looks pretty accurate.
Yeah, no, me too. Yep.
Like I said, I feel better about this one, I think, than even after week 1.
Yeah, I think that week 1 power rankings are always so all over the place.
What I'm not happy about is you guys stayed in potential wild card, and now look at us.
And the crazy part is both teams are 2-2.
I know.
It's based off of play, and
it is funny how we can have the same record, but you have a much better looking 2-2 than we do.
Yeah, I don't that team being as young as it is, the potential they show. Like, if I had to pick Jordan Love or Kenny Pickett as my quarterback, I'm picking Jordan Love.
I'll take Jordan Love. Yeah. Tim says that was a decent call. Tim, you know I'm the impression guy. Now here's a guy. All right, guys. So yeah, that is our updated week 4 power rankings. The plan is probably like around week 8ish, week 9ish, get together again. Maybe we'll have Corey that time, so he can try to give the Bears more love than they deserve.
I think the next time we do this will have to be after week 9, because now that there's 17 weeks in the season instead of 16.
I mean,
at some point we were gonna have to break that up.
Yeah, at some point there'll be an extra week. But yeah, we could do 4, 8, 12, 17, or 4, 9, 13, 7. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. All right. Well, Tim, thank you for sticking along for the long haul, buddy. We love you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tim is one of our lovely, lovely patrons. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Culture Shock Podcast. For as little as $1, you can contribute. I'm sure everybody on the internet knows what the fuck Patreon is at this point. But help us keep the lights on. We have all of our tier benefits. For as little as $1 a month, you have a little bit of control on some episodes we do and different things you can see. Shout outs at the end of episodes, bad movie ideas, or whatever polls we decide to put up. So for as little as $1 to $5, you can see all the benefits there. Check us out on Patreon. We also have a YouTube channel now where we're posting our backlog. I think we're up to like episode 27 or something on there.
Yeah.
So check us out on YouTube. Guys, we're 27 subscribers now. We're pretty popular. So yeah, check us out on YouTube there, Culture Shock Podcast. And as always, I've had it on the whole banner this whole time at the bottom, but because I'm a whore. But I have my own YouTube, Baker Reviews, where I review movies, do reviews, rankings. I just put out October, of course, is my favorite month of the year. So this will be the month of horror. I just put out my review for A24's Talk to Me. Spoiler, a movie that I absolutely loved. I'm going to be putting out another review soon for Cobweb, which is a movie that unfortunately got sandwiched release time between Barbie and Oppenheimer. So it got totally forgotten about. But
I never even heard of it.
Really fucking awesome horror movie. So yeah, guys, check out my stuff on youtube.com/Baker Reviews.
Baker Reviews.
Thank you, Mike. Corey? No?
Corey?
He just jumps on Baker Reviews.
To follow us on Facebook, it's Culture Shock Podcast. On Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. On TikTok, it's CS Podcast 21. And on Twitter, or X, where Corey does most of his work, it is also CS Podcast 21. Come on over there and let us know what you think of our live streams. If you haven't been able to make it to one but have watched them after the fact, let us know if you think our power rankings suck or, if you agree with them. All of that good stuff.
Wait, we haven't done it once. We have to do it.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. Oh, wait, did we get a... Oh, Tim says, well said, Corey. Best take I've heard from you. Great joke to end it on, Tim. I love you, man. And I also love how a second viewer came in right at the end. Sorry, second viewer.
Well, you know what? Second viewer, you can go back to the beginning of this and listen to us talk for all these 2 hours.
And also check out Baker Reviews.
I mean, if you want to check out Baker Reviews.
He said, if you want to.
They're a little bit more consistent than they used to be.
Yeah, they definitely fluctuate. All right, guys. Well, as always, we always have a blast doing this. Mike, thanks for jumping on, as always.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys around week 8 or 9 for another hopefully before then we'll go live with something else with our actual culture shock.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. But hey, if you like these football talks, we always love doing them. So hopefully next time we do these power rankings, we can move the Steelers and Packers up a little bit. Although I doubt it. For the Steelers,
Maybe
at least.
the Packers will go down to number 1 contender, and the Steelers are going to jump up to Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah. We'll be number 1 contender, number 1 pick contender. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. And on our Dr.